Okay. The Church of Mavis radio show, Friday nights at 8 p.m., 7 Central, starring Jeffrey Pritchett with his co-hosts Wham and Jay McNicholas, right here on the United Paranormal Radio Network, UPRN 107.7 FM, New Orleans.
Welcome to Negotiating Happiness, the show that helps you find happiness, success, and balance in your work and life. I'm Adriana Fierster, your host for this journey into entrepreneurship and personal growth. We're broadcasting live on 107.7 and 105.3 FM in New Orleans as part of the United Public Radio Network. We explore the latest strategies, insights, and stories from successful entrepreneurs and experts. From managing stress to building a thriving business, we've got you covered.
Whoa, everybody. We're going to take a little side step before we bring any music into here. So I got a little sidetracked here. I was thinking about something while we were going on. You know, I was watching Donald Trump earlier tonight while he was out in Los Angeles talking about the fires, talking about all this other different things. And at the same time, they had a clip of Gavin Newsom on the side there.
Newsom.
Anyway, he was on the side there, just doing Gavin Newsom things. You know how it is, Gavin Newsom. And I was thinking, he kind of looks like the guy who played Satan way back in this 70s movie I remember seeing. Every time I see him open his mouth now, I just see this like Satanist face. I mean, I don't have nothing personal against Gavin. I mean, he's not my governor. I don't have to live there. Poor Tim does, but I don't have to live there. And I mean, we have many other friends that live in California. We have many hosts out there that live in California. I feel for them. So, Gavin, this song is going to be for you. I want to play this song for you. I just think, you need to just kind of sit back. Maybe take a ride. I mean, marijuana is legal in your state. Maybe take a ride down to your corner marijuana stand. Get you a big bong or something. I mean, get you something big, man. One of them pre-rolls about the size of my thumb or something. Go back up to the big mansion and sit back and put this song on and enjoy yourself. So anyway, on that note, guys and girls, we're going to check out some whiskey in a jar. We'll be back in about amigos, my friends. Ooh, out of there. All right. Get it under control.
Can't help it that it
Jesus.
sucks so bad.
All right.
I didn't make it.
Hey, you better watch it. Michelle will fire your ass. That's one of her favorite songs, but you best just chill your ass out, man.
Oh my
You best.
gosh.
Oh man, you be canned the medio,
I
baby.
gotta sit down and talk some music. Talk some music.
Anyway, welcome everyone. We have Tim up here with us. Tim is from Paranormal Insight. I had a good time with him the other day, chit chatting with him about all sorts of shit. The man's probably like, Jesus Christ, how do you get this guy to shut up? Jay knows how to. Mike's pretty good at it too. Well, Mike's pretty good at it. When you co-host, when you co-host with this group, trust me, you learn how to get your five. And Leah's just so rude. She'll tell you all kind of shit like "shut the fuck up." I'm like, "Whoa, Leah, chill, man."
Leah's out there in spurts.
Lord.
When she talks in spurts. Joe and I talk constantly.
That's what we got a lot to say, man. We got a lot to say. So wait, we're gonna start off with Trump, y'all.
Jay's a sniper.
So first off, I know Michael, you love Mr. Trump. He's the best guy on the planet.
Dude, Trump is doing a great job. I have a list of a lot of his accomplishments so far. Oh my god!
So it is like a fucking whirlwind, is what it is. Okay, it is. No, Jake, I can curse on this. Don't show him a lot of cursing, so leave me alone.
That guy was convicted of 17 crimes, and then there he is on the streets. From Haiti. I mean, that's like, and he said he loves.
That's probe me, baby. Probe me is all that is.
That's the essence of it, isn't it? I don't even like Trump, but like what's going on.
Well, I got to give him credit. I mean, it is like some fucking whirlwind or something. I've been watching the last 5 days. And I'm like, gee, dude, what is this dude? He's got to be a fucking alien, man. He's got a probe up his butt or something. Because I mean, how does he stop him? He don't even sleep. And then he's got hot ass Melania walking around him with him. I'm like,
it keeps you up. I drink it too, man. 24 hours a day.
Jesus, man. He's just. And did you see Hottie Toddy Melania today all up in her little gear,
I love our first.
She got a little cat on there, her big glasses on, hair all down. I didn't even know her hair was that damn long.
Did you hear the hot political news about Barack? Good old Barry and his.
I did hear he was having. I heard he was having an affair. There's been no evidence about that, man. We don't.
But Barack and his wife haven't been together in a long time.
But that's before all of this. She's been pissed at him for a long time. It's there was a lot of this stuff that went around. So the first thing I got out of the White House after he left was that she felt like he had changed because of some of the things he had to do as president. I mean, come on, the guy killed how many people? How many of them were women and children? I mean, this guy, this was a fucking community organized in Chicago. All of a sudden, he's in charge of just leveling, killing people left and right.
So he's a butcher of Washington, D.C.
He's a butcher of the planet, is what he was. I mean, he killed all kind of people. So
also, people said he was the great senator. He was senator for 5 months and then he quit.
Yeah, he was a junior senator.
That makes you a quitter.
He had no accomplishment.
No, he ran for president, so he's not a quitter. But and you know what? I don't really hate Barack that much. Barack to me was unfortunately. I think if Barack would have, if you'd have gave him 2 terms or 3 terms in the Senate, he'd have probably been a decent president. The problem was he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He was working for people like Nancy Pelosi. Oh, sign the fucking thing and read it later, man. I mean, what kind of president? Yeah, I mean, Jesus. I mean, come on.
Do you remember his voting record in the Senate?
And then they wonder why they lost the House.
He wouldn't vote yes or no. He would vote present. So that was the attitude, But whatever. I mean. Let them go after Jennifer Aniston. They deserve each other. That's cool.
Noticed with the wings. I should have said.
I wonder if
I know that
I wonder if there was one.
I'm
of
having
Diddy's
fun
friends.
watching the news. I'm having fun watching people melt down. I'm having fun with the woke people. The alphabet people aren't even saying.
Later in the show. Later when we get a little bit later in the show, maybe 2 hours from now. I got some clips we're gonna play of some lefties melting. Oh, it's fucking hilarious.
I have to interject for a quick moment.
Yeah.
Shawn
Get in here, man.
Evening. He has to work early tomorrow, so he's got to cash in early. So, but he will be with us tomorrow night. He says for the chat, and that'll be a good thing.
Well, anyway, we'll talk about that later. Darren, you write in all the time to us from New York. So what? You're in the city, right? New York City, the Bronx. So what about it? You wait. What do you mean you hate AOC? Well, Did any of y'all elect AOC? I didn't vote for it. Leah fucking voted for it. That's who voted.
She
for
doesn't
it.
do anything for anybody.
Leah likes to jump in her car and just go across the top of the U.S. voting for people.
She's actually that stupid. I can't believe she's actually in charge. What is she, a governor or what the hell is she?
No, she's not a governor. She's a House representative. A governor. If she was a governor, I'd be moving, man. Jesus.
In that position.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Hochul's pretty stupid, but she's not. She's not.
Even Hochul didn't talk about building a train to.
Oh, so you see Hochul, right? Hochul said
UK. Eh?
Hochul said she wants to keep her 470,111 migrants because they needed to keep the labor price down. That's her words, not mine. That's her exact words, not mine. These are all illegals. These are all illegals. And
what's going to happen if they start giving these jobs to American citizens?
They're going to have to pay them more because Americans ain't going to go out there and pick a field for $10 an hour. They're going to want $20.
That was their only choice.
They're going home. Doesn't she know? Didn't she get the memo?
Yes.
Going home.
What I'm saying is, like, what would happen? Would they just, like, is that when they would roll out AI robots to do everything?
Well, that's probably coming in the future. But they still allow migrant workers in.
I'm counting down those days to AI doing something for me. Do it, man.
Mike wants one of them AI bots. I know what he wants. He wants some little cute AI bots.
I don't think we're very far off from that.
No, I don't want an electronic one. The real one are hard enough to go with. The electronic ones, they can short circuit.
You know you want one of them electronic bots, man. Don't lie.
She can be like 6'4". The same way. Let me tell you, they got that. They can communicate wirelessly. They can shut your car off, shut your power off. They can shut your heat off and sit there and watch you die and keep your fridge locked. An AI woman? No. Say no. Find somebody that doesn't. Find a woman that has low expectations, man.
You got a rough view on the planet.
Someone who will love you for the blob of best that you are, and then just go with it. Go with it, man. But no robots. No robots.
Well, they won't be robots.
I don't want anybody to have control over me. Nothing.
Oh, I'm waiting. So, I always bitch. I'm waiting for my George Jetson Carter when it folds up into a suitcase. But I'm thinking Elon might do one better, and it folds up into a girl.
I know a dude's got a suitcase.
So, your car, and your lady at the same time.
Airport, it's got wheels, man. You can steer it. You can buy them online, man, and ride right through the airport. Woo!
Well, I seen Google's new thing out in LA the other day.
Cases? Yeah, those are pretty fun.
Yeah.
So,
some airports are big. Some airports you have to hub it.
Oh, yeah. Some airports are big. That's why I always try to take flights that I know where they're going to end up at. And I try to be as familiar with the airport as I can because I travel a lot and I like to know where I'm going.
Your flight's getting late. You know what I mean? Then you got to connect and you got to get across a 1.5 mile airport, man. Yeah. That's
travel. I learned traveling like in the middle of the day is a lot easier. There seems to be less traffic, less people doing crap, especially on weekdays. On the weekends, it's a little different, but on weekdays,
I like driving. You know what? If it's
I like driving too. I ain't gonna lie.
It's so much easier just to drive and more fun too. You can stop. I'm a foodie, man, so you can stop and get good food all along the way and try stuff out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I remember I stopped and got a chili burger, just chili cheese. This thing looks so nasty. I was just, don't eat this. It's a place on the side of the road. We were at the Continental Divide restaurant.
You told me about that place, and I stopped there. You told me to go there and get the chili. I stopped there and I got the chili, and I said, Joe Montaldo sent me. And they were like, oh, I'm like, well, this guy on the radio, on TV.
This guy at the face.
Yeah, the guy, man. Coming here in age. I was just surprised being on the side of the road diner. It was as good as it was. It was right off interstate, and it wasn't like a traditional ramp. It was just
New Mexico
to the restaurant.
It's right off the freaking interstate, right there, man. Right there. It's by the.
No, this one was on the Continental Divide. It was actually
on the Continental Divide. It's right on the freaking thing, man. What is it?
I was
shop. There's a giant souvenir shop on the other side of the road. It looks like a TV.
You know what, Jesse? You can join us via the any of the YouTubes or Facebooks if you want. I know you like writing to me on my messenger, but you can join us on one of those. And yes, I did go to the crater, and I have been to where, the Close Encounters was filmed. Devil's Hill or Devil's
Tower.
Yeah.
Twilight Zone.
Well, So I'm cruising. I'm cruising like 90. I'm on my way to Utah to go meet John. So we're just cruising. I see this big. I say, "What that fucking thing looks so familiar? What is that?" And all of a sudden, I zip by the sign. I said, "Did that say what I think it said?" Turn around and go,
mashed potatoes? No, it's double
I was
sour.
like, let me turn around and let me go back and see. So so it was kind of, I didn't know it was on that trip's route. I really didn't. So it was just kind of nice to run into it. That's how I found. My friend of mine used to work at that crater in Arizona. That's how I found it. I was cruising along some back highway, like
the Sun Crater or something like that, right?
I don't know. It's I stopped to go see it while I was in where they filmed. Where was it? Starman.
Totally.
Yeah. So it was a good one. It was different, but it was good. It was different, but it was good. See, Tim, like I told you, we talk about every fucking thing, and there's not even an order to it. We just talk about it.
Where do you land on things like Devil's Tower and all the other?
Well, you never know where we're gonna go.
Being petrified trees.
Yeah, it's
weird.
It is like a clip out of time or something.
Think about how big that tree was. It would make the planet unstable, and the planet would have been like it would have thrown us into the galaxy.
Apparently, though, we had like sequoias.
It's a butt plug, man. It's a volcanic plug. They were typically 36 miles high. I mean, that's the decayed plug. There's a whole bunch of them around.
Yeah, I'm moving to Mars. Fuck y'all. You bitches can burn when Drax burns the planet down. Yeah, like loud. And then it's gonna be Drax, and then it's gonna be a zombie apocalypse. It's too bad.
You got skinwalkers up there.
No, I changed my mind, Jay. It's not gonna be Elon.
4 letters. Elon. ELON. 4 letters.
Now listen. It is the same, but I changed my name. I changed my person. It's not gonna be Elon. It's gonna be X. He's gonna be like some little demon. He's gonna say, you know what? Now we got 20 million people on Mars. Screw Earth and all them satellites he's got up in space over there. Probably got some shit in him. Just crash them down, kill everybody. Wait about 500,000 years and just come here. Look, we got 2 planets now, and it's Elon 1 and Elon 2. I mean, he's right. What do you mean, Joe? I'm an ass. Well, I am an ass, but regardless, you can't try. The man is brilliant and evil. Yes. It's like triple R-rated actually, so bite me. I can't wait. Because look at this little kid. He's already a little demon. What is he, like 6 or something? He's a
billionaire. He can do whatever he wants. He can buy and sell all of us right here.
Yeah, he's $40 billion kid. I mean, he's got 40 worth $40 billion. Dad's worth 420. He's worth 40. I'm like, son of a bitch,
what is
man.
That teaching people though? What is that? Is that
you should marry him, Leah?
Huh?
You should go marry him.
That
Hi there, little
44-year-old.
The kid's worth more than what most countries are worth. You know what I mean? Like it's like crazy to fathom that.
And Elon plans to have more kids. He was talking about it the other day. Was he up to 12 now? I mean, he's going to colonize Mars on his own, man.
14 or 15.
He's going to have
he's the richest African American in the world.
What's that, Christopher? What do you mean? We're embarrassing
him?
I don't know. Elon always freaks me out a little bit because I do worry. He just reminds me of the Drax guy a lot. When you watch Moonraker, you think about Elon, and Jay's right, it is 4 letters, but maybe it's going to be X. So maybe we'll get all those old bastards who can't be free. The Z channels will get it. The Z channels will get it. Yeah, man.
So James Bond. In this case, you got evil, and then evil's dealing with evil, and then it's all about the money. But whatever, man. I'm staying away from it. I'm in the woods.
What do you think of off that Nazi salute, the Roman salute?
Well, so I would worry about that, but I sent Tim Waltz, so I didn't realize this. So some conservative, I guess, got pissed off and posted it up. So Tim Waltz in every one, he's behind him going. He does it the whole time. And when Harris is in front of him, he does like right over her shoulder. Yeah, you talking about Nazis? So he's not the only one. They posted, I think, 14 other big Democrats who do it. Yeah. So you got to kind of leave that alone. That's because they're not working together because he hates Democrats.
But it's like Superman flying. So he was like, but he's in the air flying.
He is Elon. Unfortunately for Elon, being that he has several necroses, I'm sure, from being a narcissist to ADD, TH, and whatever else goes along with it.
Autistic too, right?
Yeah, he's got issues
out there, man. He was like
he gets overly excited, and so he's somebody's got to be with him to calm him down. He really needs to find a really good woman that can handle him and say, "Hey, Elon, you know what? Let's go get a cup of coffee. No, let's not drink no coffee. Let's go get some decaf. Let's get some fucking decaf
Wait, he needs
and
to.
go for a walk." Well, he does. He's gonna have to chill because he will get himself in trouble if he keeps it up. You know, I want to see him do well. I mean, he's got a lot of good ideas for Earth, and I really want to see him pull them off. But at the moment, he's a little crazy. And so,
right now we need.
Did you see him winking out like during the inauguration? Did you see the video clip of him like?
Actually, I was thinking about that because I was thinking about the reason I thought about it. I just got in and I was doing this shit. I was just kind of in it because it felt really good because I had a really big, all my shoulder from side to side was really sore. So I was rolling my head around. And then I got to thinking, I was wondering. Your eyes in the back of your head too? Yeah, it was because it was like, oh my God. You would have thought I was having a freaking orgasm or something, man. I mean,
he's the richest man in the world. Whatever he wants to do, basically. Basically, there's no rules, man. He's got the essence of freedom. He can roll his eyes. He can take a big shit on that stage. He could have pulled his pants down, taken a huge shit, and then just walked off, and people be like,
"Well, he's got some issues. He's got
It was just applaud. That would be it.
He's in trouble for his purchase of Twitter. He's in trouble for his purchase of Twitter because he said he didn't disclose how much of it he owned before he bought it. And we'll see. That's a securities exchange thing. We'll see how that goes.
But anyway, it made the buyers angry because if for some reason they would all of a sudden flip the sale, they would have to get the money back. But what is it worth really anyway? What is any of that shit worth? It's the consistency of what it's paid on. The lobster.
Twitter's probably worth 100 billion, 200 billion.
Well, what did they do? They don't really. They hawk advertising back and forth, but they don't sell anything. They're not like Amazon.
Yeah, they're basically
making sales, but
chat aggregate.
X charges you if you want to be on it. If you want to do anything other than chat, they charge you. So they make money.
I want to learn how to get into crypto. Like I want to learn more about Bitcoin and all that.
Why would you want to go on there to begin with? Because I have a Twitter account.
What is Bit today? 108 or something?
Fucking attacking each other constantly. That's all they do. Well, no matter what you say, they're either going to agree with you or they're going to attack you. Most likely,
I avoid those sites because it just seems like they force feed advertisement.
It's Well, they don't have to though. If you pay for your account, you don't have to have the advertisement, so you can do it both ways.
What is it? To $12 a month or something like that? It's a lot of money.
No, I think just to have it where you can broadcast on it. I think Michelle told me it was like $6.99 or something.
Yeah, it's even $6.99. It's bullshit. It's just pay that for what? I pay that for Hulu or whatever, and I get tons of content, movies and TV. What do I get from Twitter? Just a bunch of people arguing with each other. They fuck themselves. I don't care.
Bunch of armchair politicians.
Get a bunch of flat earthers arguing with a
bunch of insignificant sheep fucking arguing with each other, man. Like that's not even entertaining. It's not even fun. If you want to jump in a group and then say some obnoxious shit so everybody attacks you, that can be fun. You want to go heckle a man? I can do that all day long. You know what I'm saying? But do I get anything out of it that's positive? No. I see it as a negative entity. It was a big mistake of him buying it. It was just an ego move, and it's just not going to work.
What was an ego move?
Buying Twitter.
What are you crazy?
Bad move.
He's the one that let us find out the FBI was fucking us. What are you talking about? That's why he bought Twitter. Because he bought Twitter because everybody was saying that the FBI was telling that they couldn't release the information on the laptop. They were doing it to them. They were doing it to Facebook. We know it's true now. It's all been made public now. So that's why he bought it. When he took fucking Twitter over, he released the Twitter files. He released all of it so everybody could go see what the FBI and the fucking federal government was doing.
Even though I know it's important.
It accomplished a lot. It accomplished helping Trump get elected.
The people at the top are really untouchable, man. And then Trump getting in.
Not with Trump, they're not.
I'm really hoping that it'll be he's going to be there temporarily, but I'm hoping that he can fix something because God knows what's next.
Well, depending on what he does, we'll know what's next. If I was Trump, though, he's going to get a lot done.
Somebody was talking the right way. He went to the Carolinas where the disaster was. Then they were ignored. Biden ignored them. His administration ignored them. Those people are suffering.
Biden said, "I'm not from Carolina. Take this, put this in your asshole, and you'll feel better in the morning." I mean, it's that was Biden. You know, we loved you, Cracker Joe. I mean, I love Cracker Joe. I'm just pissed he's got my name. That's all. I was like, Jesus. Every time I hear Joe, I'm like, no. I said, that's your name, Joe. I'm like, oh shit, it is my name. It's you know, it's scary. I think about using Joseph sometimes, or maybe Paul. You know, that's my middle name. Hey, Paul. What you know? I can't use Paul. But anyway, wait, what was my Catholic name? Francis or something? Francisca or something? I can't use that either. That's too complicated. But frankly, at this point, Biden's gone. Thank God he's gone. You know,
I agree.
Will they go after him or not? I don't know. They might, but it's worthless. He's so old. He's so old. By the time you gave him anything, he'd be like, "What's?" I can hear the judge now. Judge say, "Well, what's your name?" Donald Trump. What? Yeah, I'm Donald Trump. Yes, I'm current president of the United States. I can hear him now.
All the people around him that put out a deception of what he was. Now,
you can't do that. Joe Biden pardoned them all.
They circumvented his office of presidency, and they took over and made him into a puppet. That's very serious, man. Talk about treason. You know,
I think this pardon shit needs to be looked at. By the way,
because of it, they formed policy because of it. You know what I mean? There's a whole bunch of things that need to be examined. If we're a country of justice, that's the direction it should go. Yes. You know, but whatever. We'll see what Trump
slapped that.
Trump had 4 years. He was sitting there going to court and writing down on a fucking yellow pad all the shit he was going to do if he got back in, and it's just a revenge list, man. So good.
Well, no, he had a lot of good ideas for the country, and hopefully he'll stick to his guns.
Joe,
it's going to be entertaining. He's going to be a lot of fun to watch. He was a lot of fun to watch today. And the press don't know what to do with themselves because the guys, some of the old press guys that used to give him shit, they're actually being a lot nicer to him because they're actually happy somebody's fucking talking to them.
All the liberals are getting fired.
And not only are they talking to him, they can understand what he's saying. You know, he's saying, he might be a fucking liar, but we can understand it, man. I mean, shit.
He's flipped 180 from the mean Twitter guy to the
He's actually chilled quite a lot, and it's killing the press. They don't know what to do with it. It's just so
really
fucked up.
It's the campaign manager that he made Secretary of State or whatever she is now.
No, she's a secretary of that. What is she?
Yeah, she's head of the.
It's charge of the staff. Yeah. But she's the big boss that says, Trump, you're going to do this today. You're going to do this today. You're going to do this today.
Exactly.
No, I'm not. Yes, you are, Trump. You want to stay president? This is what you're going to do. Okay, ma'am, I'm going to do it. That's Trump. He said, and you know what happens when he argues? He says, I'm going to call fucking Melania. What? No, don't call her. No, I'll do it. Wait. I'm out of here. Let me go get dressed. I'm going to get dressed right now. What do you mean? You don't know. Melania's been wearing these. First, she had the burglar hat on. Y'all remember the Hamburglar thing? Yeah. The burglar of McDonald's. He had the hat. It's the same fucking hat. It's stuck in my fucking head now. It's the same hat. So today she's wearing a baseball cap. Same thing though. She had it down here. I'm like, what are you doing, woman? It
was good, man. You know what?
She did look good. She was hot looking, but I mean, still, it was kind of weird covering your eyes. I'm thinking, did you have a rough night?
Trump's be one of the most confident people I've ever seen in my life. It's either that insanity or whatever. I don't know what it is, but I like it, and I like it to the point where
because he's got the same problems that Elon Musk has. Yeah,
no, he doesn't let people tell him stuff. He just goes and does it, and that's what we need. We don't need someone who's going to be listening to 100 different committees or groups. I think who knows what to do, and they go and do it, man. And he knows what to do. And you know what? Nobody's stopping him. Nobody's protesting like they were.
Well, that's what I'm saying. A lot of these people, a lot of the even a lot of the Democrats aren't. They're the Democrats are kind of getting
back in their parents' basements. You know what I mean?
The Democrats were the ones that were fighting them to begin with, and now they know their days are numbered. I feel like they're kind of bored of it all.
Who do they even have anymore? I mean,
they still got people, but I mean,
he's going out the door. I mean, who do they even have really that's going to drive the party? Gavin Newsom, he's nothing. Man.
Well, you think about this: how many of them showed up for his inauguration? A shitload of them. Yeah. So Omar, she was out there the other day bitching because. Look how many of you went to his inauguration. That sets a bad precedent. No, that says that you want to work with these guys and have maybe actually do some joint stuff. I don't expect both of them to get along completely, but I think they can get a lot done here.
But you have an issue where more than 60% of them are over 75 years old. So they're timing out. They're leaving. They're going one at a time. Republicans too. But who's left that has any kind of drive or draw. Like Bernie Sanders, no, he's old, he's gone.
But they got younger ones in the party that can come up.
But who that's outspoken?
Shapiro. You still got. Don't forget, you still got Harris.
They've got to be middle of the road for the working class, and they have to reject.
Harris is going to run for governor, and then she's going to be president of the United States.
Past years, they've done a lot of terrible things to the American Democrats. You know what I mean? A lot of terrible things.
There are a lot of terrible things. The Democrats have fucked up majorly, and they got a long road ahead of them, even to get the working class. But their biggest problem is the Republicans somehow have become the party of inclusion now. They're including everybody. But they are saying, if you're a man, you're a man. If you're a woman, you're a woman. If you want to dress like a man or whatever sex, that's fine. We don't care. But in the end, you still got to identify whatever sexual organs you have. I'm fine with that. And that's most of the people I hear around here, especially some people I know in a quarter, they're fine with that. So they're kind of like, well, we can live with that.
What if those organs are cut off and rearranged to look like other?
Then you're going to have to file to get your birth certificate changed.
What if you could take your thing and like whir it around like a helicopter, man? Does that make you into a helicopter?
Well, man, use like a lasso, man. Yeah, Leah, close your ears. You use it like a lasso, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's better than
we don't want to corrupt y'all.
Well, I mean,
we don't want to corrupt Leah people.
It's really a good thing he puts a stop to that, because there's the most current trend was seasons are now becoming gender. How do you feel spring? I feel like fall today. What?
Yeah,
come on.
None of that shit's gonna work. Yeah,
seriously, Tim, that was one of the things. The gender issue. One of them was the new gender terms are now whatever. Spring, winter,
some
fall,
damn coffee
summer,
in my house.
You feel like, yeah.
Trump is bringing back common sense, man, and you got to
bring back common sense.
It's just basic common sense. Men are shouldn't be in women's sports. Basic common sense, I mean, like the whole thing has gone crazy, and then it was allowed because of no leadership. Because Biden didn't even have a clue where the hell he was, man. You know what I mean?
He wanted more ice cream.
Exactly.
He wanted that strawberry ice cream that fucking aliens eat. That's what he wanted.
President Biden's defense, Tim, sometimes he walked into the room like, is this where I come to get my diapers changed?
In all fairness, Biden was probably a walk-in, and right as he got elected, it walked out, and he was on his own dumbass self again. He was.
But you never knew where to go off stage. That was the thing that was kind of interesting. It's like, do I go this way? No, I go this way. Okay.
And I still remember the day he grabbed his ass, and you seen his wife and the two guards kind of back up because I guess you could smell it. I was thinking, oh my God, no way, the president did not just shit on himself.
Yep,
it's
sure
that's. I mean,
that's it's sad because it's like adult abuse, and someone should have called the office of the agent or something.
On his good days, he had good days too.
As president of the most powerful country in the world,
he had good days. He didn't launch no nukes.
Is somebody who doesn't even know who he is or where he is.
That's true. He did not launch any nukes.
Trust me, he wanted to at Russia. Especially in the last few days, he's thinking, "Oh shit, I'll just launch a nuke at Russia, and I can stay president because Russia will launch back at us, and Trump will be dead."
I heard he didn't even have
dumbass should be dead too.
But he was controlled and manipulated, and then people put policy forward in his name. He didn't even know what was going on. He wasn't the president. He wasn't an executive.
No, they showed the three guys they thought were running things.
He's an old puppet. That's all he was.
There was these three middle-aged white guys they were showing that were high.
Let's say it for real. The guy's a criminal. He's a criminal family. Biden family is a criminal crime family. You know what I mean? But they get a pass because they're politics. They're not the mafia. So they get a pass, right? It's not organized crime.
They get a pass now because their dad was president.
They make the rules, but it's our country. But no one's ever going to charge him. No one's going to solve the problem. I just hope Trump can lower the goddamn price of roast beef, man. That's it. Lower the price of goddamn beef.
Okay. Well, you know how that works.
Well, he said
first thing he's going to do is lower the fuel prices.
He's calling it a crisis. He's calling it.
But you can't lower nothing until fuel prices come down.
That's what he said too. Yeah. He's telling OPEC to lower their prices. They just gave him $600 billion to invest in the U.S. Man,
screw up. We don't need OPEC. We have enough. We have enough in our own backyard that we
$600 billion to invest in the U.S. Think about that.
Yes, but that ain't bringing the prices of oil down.
We got to dig it up ourselves.
Jay said we have our own.
Yeah, dig it up ourselves.
We got lots of oil. That's not the problem. So he'll start pumping oil within a year. See, when he was president, when he left office, we were paying $1.39 a gallon.
I know.
It's
they found a 200-year supply of crude oil.
Right now we're paying $2.60.
200.
There's oil all over the place.
Out in California, $4.50. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but that's not bad for Cali though. I mean, but that's going to change too because I noticed I got a lot of friends out in Cali, a lot of them liberals, and they're kind of getting just fucking disgusted with what they are.
The amount of brush fires they have out in California, gasoline ought to be $10 a gallon.
Well, and these fires, I mean, when you look at these fires, nothing. I know he lives in Cali, man. Don't be jinxing them, man. Jesus.
Making them worse by putting gasoline and
$10 a liter, man.
What's that, Dave? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Oh yeah, well, marijuana is expensive everywhere. It's it is cheaper to get it off the streets. Well, I got a friend in Colorado. No, don't go get it off the street. I'm not telling you to do that because I don't want to get in trouble. So don't go get it legally. Go to your local dispensary and get it like that. And if you're in a place that has medical, go get your little card and go get it. If you live in a state that don't have it, fucking move. That's all I can tell you.
You know what I mean? You want to save $20 or in pack.
But they've been bitching about this a lot. It's expensive since it costs almost nothing to grow marijuana, it's kind of really inexpensive.
140, 150 an ounce. You know what? But if you go to a place, they're going to tell you what THC's in there, where it was grown, that it's organic, it doesn't have all kinds of chemicals in it, man. So it's smart.
Look, man, back in the day when I used to smoke this shit, it was $25 for a lid, which was like 1.75 ounces or some shit. 4-finger lid. Pretty much they just filled up the baggie and gave it to you. Can I say?
Very little baggy.
Yeah. So today it's much different, people. They sell about 1/8 now. So go out there if you want to do it. I don't do that stuff. That stuff is bad for you. Yes, it's very, very nice. I don't care what you do. You do whatever you want. Have fun with it. I know a lot of states have it legal. It's kind of funny, a weird story.
27 states at last count are recreationally legal, I believe.
Yeah. I don't know if it's recreation. It might be a mixed.
Pennsylvania's surrounded by legal states. You go to Jersey, you go to New York.
That's how Texas is. Texas is all around it, but Texas,
even Ohio, right? Ohio
in Texas because you know what they won't take you to jail unless you have like a pound in the car or something. But
dude, Ohio used to be so strict, man. Like speeding was like the death penalty, man. You know what I mean? Like Ohio, you can't mess with Ohio. And now
to make your money, man. You got to make your money.
Vice President comes from there. He was doing this, so good for them, man.
No, Chris. I was with some friends. I was on my way to Utah to do a lecture, and a friend of mine said, "Let's stop and get some weed." And I said, "No, I can't do because I'm driving, and I want to do a lecture, and I don't want to be." Well, I didn't want to be blah 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 because I'm not anti-weed, but I just at that particular moment, he said, "Come on, let's stop." So we walk, and I'm sitting down and waiting for him to get his shit. And this guy walks up to me and says, "Can I have your autograph?" I'm like,
all right,
what?
So
I'm like, get back. I'm like, get back. Kind of weirded me out a little bit. I'm like, get back. Because I couldn't think of anything I had been on recently. And then I remembered I'd just been on Ancient Aliens,
man.
Yeah, I just remembered. No, it was a replay. It wasn't the original. This was like a year after, maybe a year and a half after.
I think more people saw that than the original, man. I turned the TV on there. I'm like, look, you don't want to tell me.
It was very weird, and it still is weird even today because sometimes with anything new drops or coast to coast drops or anything else I've done just drops, I'll be in a store or somebody say, "Hey, can I have your autograph?" I'm like, "Why?" And they're like, "No, because you're famous." I said, "No, I'm not famous." I said, "But I said if you really want it, you can have it." But I said, it's. And when I'm at conferences, I do a lot of signings, but I don't know why. I'm just doing my job. I mean, what do you want my damn name for? It's all over the place. Buy something.
Famous, Joe.
No, I'd say buy something. My name's on that shit. Buy that. Oh man, I don't know.
So gentlemen, check this out. How many states have medical marijuana programs? 41, including the District of Columbia. How many states have legalized recreational weed? 21 states, including Washington, D.C.
Not bad. We're not quite half yet. We're getting there.
Barack Obama made it that if you sign
the funny part, most of them are blue states too. That's
you're not allowed to own a gun. That you forfeit your rights to own a firearm.
Who forfeited your right? They kiss my ass. I ain't forfeited no rights to own my guns.
Yeah, either.
Martha, my girlfriend Martha's not going to go for that. She will jump out and put a bullet in your ass.
Meanwhile, marijuana doesn't make people want to shoot people. It makes you not want to shoot people.
Well, sometimes. No, I don't know, man. You do some of the edibles, you might want to. You think these ants are crawling on your ass or something? You be out there
talking about marijuana.
No, dude. I'm telling you, them fucking edibles. I've had too many friends tell me, "Oh, Joe, it's like tripping on acid." I'm like, "What?" He said, "You've done edibles." I said, "Yeah, but it wasn't like tripping on acid." But I know what he means because I've talked to a bunch of people about it now. So people do the same, make the same mistake. Oh, I'm going to eat a brownie. By the time they eat 4 brownies, they're tripping on acid.
When you eat it, it digests. It gives you a different high. It digests differently than if you smoke
a different high.
It's a longer high and more intense. So but if you just smoke it, it's here and gone. You know what I mean? But whatever. I've never done edibles, but
Jack, this is not a commercial for marijuana.
Man.
Just tell you at a time, man. It's not a commercial.
I had a chocolate, but that didn't do shit for me, man. I was like, you know what I mean?
We're just warning you people of the dangers of smoking it.
Well, they got some intense stuff. They got wax and stuff.
Nobody on this panel is anti anything.
Dabs, something like that.
I don't want anything with waxes in it because my lungs are clean. I got off the cigarettes. Fuck y'all.
Back in the day, you had weed, you had your hash. You know what I mean?
It was different when I was growing up as a kid. We were sitting in a gas station one day, and I was lighting a cigarette, and I seen this guy in an old red Datsun pickup truck come over, sign if he knocks him off the thing. He said, "Man, you want to buy some hash?" I'm like, "Dude, what?" This guy could have been a cop. He pulls out a rocket this big, man, of this red hash. He said $5. I said, $5, really? I smelled it. I said, "Yeah, give me that." We stayed hot off that shit for like 3 months, man. Oh my God. It was a real shit. It was definitely from overseas. I was like, what the hell? This guy must have been a crackhead or something. Wow. It was crazy. But people freak out because like we'll be walking doing Mardi Gras. We'll park the car and it's a good walk back to the French Quarter. There'll be a walk around, people will be smoking and shit. I'll walk right, man, can I have a hit? Oh yeah, sure, man. Well, I stopped one time with I had a Cheech and Chong paper, and I was in the parking lot, and the roll went up. Man, there must have been 30 people that said smoking that shit. It was insane. And then if you go to what we call the People's Parade, there's a little parade they have on a weekend. It's out by a park. It's pretty much just cars and trucks and stuff like that. And they have a big park. Well, it's like a $30 to give you your shirt, beers free all day long, and it's very interesting. It's just kind of weird. Well, at the end of it, it's the Bacchus. At the end of it, at the Bacchus bar, they have a party. So the guy who comes out and owns it, he usually brings out about 30 of these joints that are about this big around and about this long, and just gives them out to the crowd and says, "Have a good time." Kicks off the band going and just starts having a good time. I'm like, wow.
Damn.
First time I went, I just got out the Navy. I was so high I didn't know what to do it myself. I was like, wow. I hadn't smoked in a while. I was like, shit, man. What the hell y'all give me? I was giggling like a little schoolgirl or something. It was sad, people. It was sad. What can I tell you? Hey, at least I'm honest about it.
I have a good story about a Rush concert years and years ago. My friend and I from high school, he's more of a Rush fan than I am. I like Yes more than I like Rush, but they're both my top 5 favorite bands. Anyway, we went to this Rush concert, and he wanted me to bring some joints. So at the time, I was rolling my own cigarettes with one of those machines. You take like
none of us did anything illegal, people.
So it's all theater. And marijuana. And I made a bunch of regular cigarettes, and I made a bunch of special cigarettes. And he was a fireman. He's retired now, and we met with a bunch of Montgomery County policemen, and at this party, in the tailgate party out before the concert started. So we're out there like 2 hours or 3 hours before they were even going to come out on stage. And so we walk away, and he and I, my friend and I, we each light up a cigarette, which looks like a cigarette anyway, but it's not. And then these 2 other dudes come by and start talking to us, and they were looking for some weed. So I gave them one. So the 4 of us standing there with these cigarettes, and finally the female Montgomery County cop stands up and goes, "Hey, there's people smoking weed. Do you guys smell anything?" And I look over and I'm like, "We're smoking cigarettes. Of course not." And I turned back around, and she didn't even come over walking here towards us, but she had no idea where it was coming from. But it was the 4 of us.
See, they don't really care.
She didn't even know it was us.
As long as you ain't got no kids with you, when you were walking around the quarter in the old days, they'd smell weed. They'd look at you like, "Put that shit up where I can't see it, boy."
It's not whether you smoke it or it's how you smoke it. If you have a cigarette and you do like this,
yeah,
nobody bothers you if you do that. If you're outside and you're with your cigarette and you do this,
yeah, it's all about the position, isn't it?
a whole nother ballgame.
You see, man.
Now they don't care. So we went to some booby joint somewhere. Did I say that? Oh, damn it. Anyway, we in this club, and there's no liquor allowed in this club for some strange reason. So no, really, whoever said there's no liquor allowed in this club.
Alcohol was illegal.
So there's they must have been 20 people in there vaping it up, smoking marijuana and shit. So the DJ gets on and he's puffing a big fat joint and he goes, "You can't smoke in here, people. You just can't. You can't." The owner said you can't smoke. And I'm thinking, dude, he's literally just. So then he comes off the stage. He's walking around. Everybody's giving him nothing but shit. If you didn't like pot, I would have suggested you just walked out of the place because you were high before you got out the door. You didn't even have to have any. But LA's like that now. I was with Larry Elmore, who is the creator of the Dragons for Dungeons and Dragons, and with Tom Wood, who does a lot of the Tom Wood, who does a lot of the NFL stuff, and then Ron DeSandes, who is one of the biggest artists in the United States. We were all hanging out. We had some of the winners with from Writers of the Futures with us, and there was somebody else. I think was it Blast? There was somebody else with us, and we were walking around LA. So we left the hotel. We were staying at the Lowe's Hotel. We walked a half block, made the right turn to go down the Hollywood Boulevard. Man, so we stopped. This guy had some CDs he's trying to sell us, right? So I said, just give me one. I'll play it on my radio network. Oh, give me $20. I said, give you what? Here's your fucking CD. I offered to play on a radio network. You can get way more exposure than give me one CD for $20. Like, that was stupid. And I mean, that was just stupid. He should have just said, yeah, I'll let you play it. But anyway, we're standing there. Everybody around us is smoking. Everybody's smoking. Just big crowds. By the time we get to the corner, we had been just one big trail of marijuana smoke the entire way down. We hooked a right going down to Arthur Services. Everybody's puff, puff, puff. And we're in crowds. So you'd see like 3 or 4 guys, and each one had their own. They're just puffing it up. That's how LA is now. Everybody's carrying their own joints around, just most of them pre-rolls. And I'm like, there's no way you can walk a block without getting high. I tell people all the time, don't bring your kids down there on the weekends anymore. It's not like it used to be. I mean, literally, you'll get high.
No longer kid friendly.
And they'll come up. I was walking down the street. I'm walking down the street. The cab says, "You need a ride? Go get some pot." And I'm like, "What?" Old days would have been, "You need a ride to go get some, you know what?" "Oh no, man." "Oh, you need some." "No." And now you go get some pot around the corner. I'll pick you up, bring you back, give me a joint. We'll call it a year. I'm like, "Yeah, joint's like $20 an hour." Like, giving me a joint. Oh, I know, man. It's Jimmy Lee. Where are you from? Oh, you are from LA. Well, you know what I'm talking about then. It's the fires that burning out the pot shops and the hookers. Well, that's a good thing.
Sort of.
I mean, that's a good thing. Maybe they'll all move to San Francisco.
Or smoky hookers.
Oh, don't move to San Francisco. Trust me.
Well, they got to go somewhere.
Where are you at?
Go to my hometown. That's better. Go to San
Go up to the Tenderloin. Go visit the Tenderloin.
Where are you located at, Tim?
I'm in San Jose, California.
Oh, so you're not far.
I'm not far, but I'm far enough that I don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, she's a Cali brat.
Not much better.
It's not that bad compared to San Francisco at all, really.
I guess not. That's where a lot of the techies live.
Yeah, we do have a lot of techies. All your computers were born here. No, I mean, if you're gonna come visit, come here.
Well, if Trump has his way, y'all gonna be Canadians, man. Just thought I'd tell you.
Vice versa.
Y'all gonna be effing Canadians. Oh, so I seen the new map. The new map we give them California, Portland, and I mean California, Oregon, and Washington, and then we take Toronto, Quebec, and then I forgot the other one. There's like 4 of them right there.
Damn thing. I mean, if he's
and then they did another map where we gave them the West Coast, and they kept like 5 cities, and we took everything else. So
just
a lot of Canadians would go for being part of America, and a lot of them would be like, "No, y'all are crazy. We don't want to be part of it."
Some people saying Trump has actually said that he's going to use the military in such a fashion as to take over both Greenland and Canada.
Yeah, well, Germany and France said they would kick our ass. Just so you know.
Huh?
Germany and France said they would kick our ass if we tried to do that.
France.
They said we would whoop you like ugly redheaded stepchildren, man.
In the
Strange
90s,
bedfellows.
Say that, but I mean, we already have a military base there.
we have military bases all over Europe.
Oh,
Yeah, they wouldn't last long.
Listen to this.
Maybe 10 minutes.
That's
I
what.
don't know about this, but years ago, I think in the 90s, there was the mad cow disease. We're destroying cow herds in Europe. So the German chancellor gets on the radio, and I'm sure in German says, we're going to kill 50,000 cows and try to get ahead of this disease and try to see if we can't, stop it and salvage our food source. Well, somehow the French president only heard a part of that speech. He only heard that they're going to kill 50,000. So he immediately calls the German chancellor and says, "We give up. You don't need to kill anybody. Just come on over. We surrender right away." And the chancellor's like, "You fool! I'm talking about cows, not people." So if they would surrender to an unreported threat of killing 50,000 cows.
Oh, shit, we're on a break. I just came in.
I'm
glad somebody just walked in. We got to go to break, man. You ain't not doing your job, man.
Well,
God damn, you are just messing up, man. You are just messing up. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back probably in about 8 or 9 minutes. I want you to please stay tuned to United Public Radio and News. On the flip side, we have Tim and Jay and Leah and Michael and myself all getting in trouble. What do you mean? Oh no, Shawn's on vacation. Yes, man. Ever since he got that harem, it's been rough. I mean, he's got a harem. It's like 22. I'm not kidding you. You should check it out. He traded. He mines gold, and somehow he traded some of that gold to a sheik
because he's got meat.
No, that too. Oh, that's true too. And he has Dexter. But he traded that to some sheik, and
that's
now
how he gets women. He's like, "I got meat and butter," and they're like knocking on his door.
Anyway, we'll be right back. Please stay tuned to United Public Radio and News on the flip side. Bye, bye, everybody.
When they are consuming your minds and your thoughts and your dreams, from the angels to the demons and to the mysteries unseen, there is no need to worry. There is no need for dread. It's just time to discuss the thing at the foot of the bed.
What's out there? What creates the shadows in the corners or the creatures of the dark? Who are those on the other side? What do they have to say? This is the Gateway Podcast. This is not your normal style of paranormal talk radio. Brought to you live from United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM New Orleans.
You're listening to UFO Undercover with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
Hi, and thank you all for joining us today. We are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in New Orleans.
Welcome to Negotiating Happiness, the show that helps you find happiness, success, and balance in your work and life. I'm Adriana Fiestro, your host for this journey into entrepreneurship and personal growth. We're broadcasting live on 107.7 and 105.3 FM in New Orleans as part of the United Public Radio Network. We explore the latest strategies, insights, and stories from successful entrepreneurs and experts. From managing stress to building a thriving business, we've got you covered.
Hi, I'm Brittany Ashley, your host of Breaking Norms, Building Dreams, your guide through this transformative journey in both business and life. This is your place crafted for dreamers, doers, or anyone who has been told they can't. Get ready as we challenge those narratives together. You're tuning in live to the United Public Radio Network, airing on 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. We are streaming on all the popular platforms every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me for a candid and thought-provoking conversation celebrating your unique journey because you are worth it.
Was Metallica. If you didn't, I don't know what to tell you, but if you've been listening to music for more than 5 days, you should have known who Metallica was. Anyway, welcome back to News on the Flip Side. I hope y'all have been enjoying the show. Michael and Tim have been being asses. I've been being really nice and sweet, so I don't know what to tell y'all, but they're bad people like that. Let's see, look at Tim. Look at that face. You can tell he's a troublemaker.
Who, me?
And then we got Michael down here. So he's trying to act all innocent and stuff. We already know Jay's a troublemaker from way back in the day, and of course we've been knowing Leah been for like 20 years troublemaker. So I'm the only angelic like person.
Yeah.
I mean, but y'all get that was I thought that was good. Man. Well, come on, that was cute, man.
Well, it's truly speaking because angels aren't always good. You know what I mean?
Right.
You got all sorts of angels.
Very naughty. That's right.
So say angelic doesn't really say much.
That's true.
The devil was an angel, and all the others are angels. Michael, the destructor of whatever, Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah,
Frankie, thank you. Actually, we're gonna talk a little bit more about Trump later in the show. Right now, Tim and I was on Tim's show, Paranormal Insight, the other day, and we were talking about Admiral Byrd and the Antarctic and what may be down there or not.
It's a special area of study of mine.
I know a lot of people in this particular network is familiar with that. And what's that, Janine? No, a lot of people on this. I'm not saying all network. I'm just saying this network.
Have they read the stories from Chile and Argentina?
Well, I got to read.
Got mangled, went into the hospitals there because that was like the closest land.
Yeah, I got to read. I got to read his original journal as much as I could get of it, because you can't get all of it, by the way.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of it there, though. I mean, and there's a lot of good information there, and it does discuss about what he found, what he flew into, what was going on.
He said he met a dude underground in an amazing
does the journal say what the nature of the mission was?
A dude called the Master who was upset because we were messing with nukes. So whatever, take that for what. But yeah, Operation High Jump was a complete loss. Ships sank, planes destroyed, all kinds of stuff that happened.
And absolutely.
And they said discs. They said these discs are the most powerful thing they've ever seen.
Howdy Before, I do believe, is what they encountered. But does the journal at all mention the actual nature of his mission?
It was actually supposed to go look for Nazi bases in the South Pole.
Yeah,
that's what they were doing.
It went under the
Nazis
guise
had submarine bases there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if many people don't know that or not, but it's also sometimes been called the final battle of World War II, even though it happened in 1946.
Yeah. It was very strange. The whole thing was strange. And
Bird,
then
I'll tell you about Bird. He was the explorer. He had a woman that he would go out and circumnavigate the world. I mean, they both broke records together. You don't hear her mentioned much, but he was the one who wanted to seek and know things.
Yeah, good.
You know,
girls didn't do much back then.
He was the Indiana Jones of that era, of that type of guy.
That's a fairly accurate description.
Well, he liked to explore. He was out all over the place. He'd been to both poles. Yeah. I mean, he'd been around the world quite a lot. It's just, could you take his story at face value? And then later on, I mean, there's supposedly been other people who have gone to this.
Now, wait a minute. So you can, I think you can. There's one of the statements that he says in his journal is that the United States ought to be careful, not kind of paraphrasing here. They ought to be careful that they might encounter an air force that can go from pole to pole within hours. And then most recently,
seconds.
Was it the 2000s or maybe the late 90s is when we started seeing chemtrails that went from the South Pole to the North Pole. We don't have flights to do that, but somehow there were chemtrails or like true evidence of like a plane having gone from the South Pole to the North Pole or vice versa 10, 15, 20 years ago.
That's incredible.
Yeah, we can do it. We got the technology to fly pole to pole. Pretty easy. Just have to have a refuel on
warning about this in 1946, and here we are in the 20s. And
was that high jump he made the warning on?
Yes.
Okay. And
after everybody got destroyed, I know he was called back to DC, and then it was all secret thereafter.
Yeah, secret. But then supposedly some other people went and talked to the people who lived in the city. And the city was supposed to be a vast city. I mean, equivalent to like a New York or a London or something like that. They talk about it being vast. They just talked about it being much more modern than anything. When I heard people describe the city, it sounded like something right out of something out of sci-fi. It could have even been a Jetsons thing. These weird shaped towers.
It looks like the city in Metropolis with the golden female robot.
It could be. I mean, it was just weird, and what I mean, an alien race is going to definitely build a different city and habitate than we do. I mean,
it's going to be different. To us to be, shockingly, people, alien.
Think about something.
We can spin it all day till we're blue in the face. We're never, ever going to imagine an actual.
Well, you know what?
Until we encounter one. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is.
It's like these mechanical sounds that come from the bottom of the sea, places we can't go, and then they've recorded them, and you can tell that they're mechanical sounds.
Absolutely.
They're not whales. They're not creatures. You can hear doors opening and closing. You hear machinery running. But I mean, wherever they are, we're getting closer, and they know that. So at some point, there needs to be a meeting of the minds, if you even call it that, because there's not just one type of other type of being. I mean, the ones in the South Pole may have nothing to do with the other ones.
Other type of technologies out there.
And then think about 1561 alien battle over Nuremberg, Germany, where people went outside and saw discs attacking each other in the sky, crashing to the ground, exploding, like all this shit going on. So I mean, and then think about the Pierce Reese maps. Where did they get hyper accurate maps from a time where there was no airplanes, no air, nothing, man? And you have hyper accurate maps that are thousands of years old when they put that was the Ottoman Empire, but when they put those maps together, they were drawing from maps that were thousands of years old. Where the hell did they get that from? You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things like you got to think, okay, maybe that's none of my business. You know what I'm saying?
It's not just how accurate the maps are, Michael. The Piri Reis map is, if you analyze that map, the way it's drawn on the paper, it's taken from directly above Cairo, like 1,000 miles above the planet. You can't
and that
do
map,
that.
That map was
you're
made
a non-flying
13?
species. You know,
that map was made from a collection of hundreds of other maps, but they never really pinpointed. But they were very old. So think about at the time when they made that map. But think about those maps have been around for over 1,000 years.
15, 16. It's just not available.
So
how do they get it?
Exactly. I mean, it's very hard, even for a navigator, even for a master navigator, to pinpoint land and to say, okay, this is what the map looks like.
Do you know
why?
What I mean?
Because you need to see it from the sky.
It's not flat.
You need to see it from the air.
Mm-hmm.
Are you referring? Is it okay if I put something up real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to make sure we're all talking about the same thing. Here it is. Is this the map you're talking about?
That's it. Yeah, that's it. I believe that is also the Piri Reis map. If not, it's virtually identical. The west side of that is South America, North America, Central America, and part of Antarctica. And then the east side of that is the round part of Africa, and then you see Gibraltar and the west end of Europe.
It's just wow. And this is from 1513, and it's relatively accurate.
And the maps they used to make it from were way older. It's crazy.
Right.
It's not only accurate, it's kind of hyper accurate, like what Michael said, because there are some places especially with the Antarctic area, there's places where they show Antarctica with no ice and certain features on the continent, such as mountains and rivers, which were unknown until we had LiDAR and we could see through the ice layers. And then we were like, oh, look, here's some mountains and some, wow, they match up to this.
They said some of the maps were they believe was from before the Ice Age. That's thousands and thousands of years, man. I mean,
they have to have
before the Ice Age,
to see through it.
But before the Ice Age,
when was the last Ice Age? I mean, we had a mini one.
12,500 years ago, roughly 14,000.
Yeah, about 13,000 years. Yeah.
Okay.
It's called the Younger Dryas.
Was that the mini one?
It's from 12,500 BC back to 14,500 BCE. So. Okay.
But you talk to the Navajo.
Never endured one, but yeah, that's the
last. The Navajo said they showed up in the West 75,000 years ago, and then they all cite either the Star People, the Ant People, say the Hopi say Ant People, but they all kind of say they're the ones who saved them, and then they call it this is the fourth world. They went from the third world and they were saved by Star People, Ant People, whatever. Taken. There was this whatever cataclysm happened, and then they were dumped out again. And they were all told to go and have a group for all Indian nations, which was in Chaco Canyon. And then, initially Chaco Canyon was to meet and greet and be a marketplace for all nations. It became really polluted with the Anasazi, because they were like slave traders, and Anasazi means the other people. Or the ones who aren't like us, So that, and then that kind of, they took control, but then the Indian nations took control over that. But look at that whole area. It's very interesting. A lot of uranium in that area, really interesting, But I pinpointed it, man. I did all my research. They were dumped in Moab. They were dumped initially, all of them together, and they all made their mark on the wall. Like, so Navajo will have a circle going from the center all the way out, the spiral going out. And then they were told to go and travel in a spiral all over the world. Like, just keep going. And and then make that mark. They found that mark in Turkey. How interesting is that, So I mean, but they're talking 75,000 years ago. And then, that's a hell of a long time ago. It's unfathomable, really. With Jesus walking around a couple thousand years ago. 75,000. And then, but hey, man, I don't know. I like learning about these things. I like the essence of it. I like hearing the stories. If you want aliens, you want UFO, talk to any Native Americans New Mexico, Utah, Arizona, anybody. And they'll say, this is what happens there. This is going. I mean, they're very open about, hey, this is what happens. There's a forum where they will talk about skinwalkers all the time, up by Shiprock, which is New Mexico. And then I'll tell you, it used to be Highway 666, man. They changed the name because people were bugged out. And I was on that road. And then you definitely get the creepiest feelings on that road, man. But my friend's dad, my friend's friend, okay, who worked for Four Corners Oil Drilling up there, in Farmington, right? This dude had a big dually, big truck, right? And he was going down to Gallup, New Mexico from Farmington. So you had to go a few Shiprock and then down that 666. So he said, really late at night, 11 o'clock at night, this guy doesn't drink, nothing like that. And he's like a regular old cowboy type driving. 65 miles an hour, he said, something started running next to his truck, clawing at him, trying to get at him. He said it had red glowing eyes and it looked like some kind of wolf or something, but it wasn't an animal. And it was trying to get at him. He accelerated. He got away from the thing. And then when he got to Gallup, finally, to a gas station, he pulled in to a place that had lights, and he saw blood on the outside, like all these digs in there. And they said, skinwalker. They swear up and down. But there's a forum that they say, hey, you saw a skinwalker up on the hill. Be careful. Don't go over there. Like they're warning each other, man. You know, it's like when they do television shows, they don't understand like the daily life of people doing this. And they're not just kind of joking around. They're saying, stay away. It's because they're like witches, man. They're like evil, you know. They've sacrificed stuff in their lives to get there, and there's caves that is skinwalker caves that you don't ever want to go in. Like there's wicked feelings that come out of there. You can there's people on YouTube now starting to explore it, but they'll tell you about UFOs all day long. I mean, they're very free and open about it. So
I was talking to a Paiute native. I was doing some research, and I was researching what their notion was of Sasquatch in that particular tribe, and that was mostly because I had the Bigfoot guy, whose name I just totally blanked on.
Jeff Meldrum.
One more time.
Jeff Meldrum.
No, Sierra Sounds. Good Lord. This is embarrassing.
Sorry, we have brain fart on the show all the time. Welcome to the club.
Anyway, so
short-term memory loss. Take your time. Have a brownie. Just chill.
Yeah, right. I'm doing research for this thing, and I asked him about Sasquatch, and she says to me, sweet lady, she says, well, basically, we see him more as a spirit force, so more closer to a forest spirit, I guess, in like the Celtic faith and folklore. I said, oh, that was very interesting. So you don't consider him a physical being? And she says to me, it's a cross, because the spirit realm can interact with us and look like a solid individual, but they have abilities that make them disappear. And that echoed exactly what the guy's name, I still can't remember. Oh my God. Dude, if you're out there, I'm so sorry. I feel terrible. But I mean, it was interesting. You were talking, Michael was talking about how the natives know all this great lore and have all these stories from way back.
Chinese too. The Chinese will tell you about the same Sasquatch type of being up there in the mountains. But they're very used to it. So I mean, everybody got their story. Yeah, but this is something like these villagers had to deal with, like stay away from, because they were dangerous. They were killing their goats and stuff and whatever. They're more like some kind of animal. But
Ron Moorhead. Ron Moorhead's the name of the guy. like one of the most famous news in Bigfoot. I forget his name.
I mean, but not everything is known. Zoologically, I don't think that Bigfoot could exist. Not in this world. They would have to have some kind of community to keep going, unless there was some super being that could live 800 years. Noah was 900 years old when he died in the Bible. So I mean,
we don't know how old
could be one of their pets. I don't know.
But
remember the chupacabra? Everybody was seeing chupacabras, right?
Know about.
The chupacabra was attacking everything, sucking the blood out of stuff and whatever. You don't hear about it much anymore, do you? You don't hear about the stories. I read stories from the chief of police in Puerto Rico who was driving home and his chupacabra ran in front of his car and ran after him and he flipped out. He had a gun and he ran the other way. But I tend to think they're more like the pets of aliens, like something that was kind of left behind, like the cat got away and it's out there. Because every report I've ever heard that is identical, how it's tall, 6 feet tall, glowing red eyes, spiny fingers, they all said the same thing. But you don't hear about attacking people. They were more attacking like goats and chickens, drinking its blood.
Chupacabra means goat sucker in Spanish.
Yeah. Goat sucker. Who do you call it, goat sucker?
Goat sucker.
What do you say? No couscous for you. No, but really, these stories are so interesting because a lot of them are bullshit, but some of them are real. And then the real ones, you kind of gotta split it apart and say, but Native Americans are very real people. They don't mince words. If they talk to you at all, because there's a lot of people that don't want to talk to you, especially, they're very weird around even Caucasians, man. I don't blame them. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of pent up anger going on there, and it's ongoing too. It's not like something that happened in the past.
I've got a recipe from left by the toll truck for El Chupacabra. They said very tender, very tasty. I'm thinking that's why they made
chupacabra steaks. I'm telling you, man.
It might be so few of them now.
Chupacabra shake.
Down there,
shake chupacabra.
Side of fries, you gotta get them.
They probably got goats tied out on stakes just to catch the son of a bitch.
The goat sucker on.
Do you guys know
goat sucker energy?
Do you guys know the difference between a northern zoo and a southern zoo?
It's the goat suckers.
See, in the northern zoo, you go to the paddock and it tells you the name of the animal. It tells you the common name, the scientific name, the Italian name, and all that. Then it tells you its habitat and it's where it lives and how it breeds and all that. Down in the southern zoo, it do the same thing. You go to the paddock, it tells you the name of the animal, the common name, the scientific names, and all that. And then it tells you the best recipes for it.
Right.
Every time, guaranteed.
Yeah, we actually got badass zoos down here now. They're damn huge. I remember when the zoo was just a little thing with cages in it, little animals in it. Frick, the lion habitat's as big as most zoos are.
I think any Bigfoot would have been shot, killed a long time ago. And you'd have the evidence.
So wait, I'm confused about something. Why
each other? They're such idiots,
Yeah, they are. Well, no, only the ones that are in politics seem to shoot each other. The other ones don't shoot each other.
Dude, they're really orange. They're wearing bright orange.
It only seems to be in politics. It doesn't seem to be normal.
Running around. Now, if you want to be safe and be a deer,
it's a peacock, man. It's a peacock. Some people might be colorblind. You don't fucking know, man. I mean, come on. It's it might be something simple.
What they spend on one bullet, they could buy a package of hamburgers. You know what I mean? A pack of bullets.
Ammo's
you can buy a nice couple steaks on that.
No, you can get a case of 12 gauge shells down here for about $9.
You can buy
really? It's closer to 15 for me.
Damn. Well, you're in Cali, but still.
And there's no guarantees.
No, we get 25 to a case, and they're about that. Now I can get 9mm. Yeah, we get 25 to a box, and then I can get 9mm rounds, 50 or 100. If I buy 50, it's usually about $16.
They hunt with 9mm down there? I don't think so.
I do.
You need what are you doing?
It's called long pig, man.
I'm checking to see what we have in our case.
You may as well just run one over at that rate.
It's when we were kids, you used to buy damn shells at 7-Eleven.
I get my meat in the supermarket.
You could walk into the local 7-Eleven and buy shotgun.
You used to be able to buy them at Walmart.
Tell you a little short story. It's how I met my wife.
Old guys tell you they used to.
I'm serious, dude. I walked in one night. I was decked out in a 3-piece suit and just socks. And I come walking over in the store. So I come in to buy, and I was fucked up. And I came in to buy some shotgun shells. I said, "What are you doing with that?" Because it's like 3:00 in the morning. And we're in the city. She's like, "So we're going hunting." Well, she's like, "I can't sell you those." I'm like, "What do you mean you can't sell me those?" She's like, "No, I can't sell you those." I'm thinking, "Bitch, you didn't sell me them damn things. You just sell me." So she wouldn't. So we used to talk. So one night I'm at work. I was working a night shift and I heard somebody knocking on my door. Like I'm in a kiosk. I'm like, what the fuck? It's a cop. I'm like, he brought hot chocolate and a biscuit from the store where she worked. I'm like, get the shit. She got the cop to bring me food. Get the fuck out of here. I'm in love already. Like shit. I was like, man. And then after that we started dating. But it was a weird way to meet somebody. I gotta say. It's weird. What's that? Jimmy Lee Dirty Brown. What kind of name is that, man? Come on, give me a break. You gotta put stupid names on my messenger at least. Where are you from?
Me?
Where? Mortonburg. Where the hell's Mortonburg? What do you mean? I need a state or a country or something, man. I mean, Mortonburg. It could be any fucking place. Anyway, what do you want? What do you want? Who? No, Shawn's off tonight. That's the second person calling and asked about Shawn. What else you want?
Early in the show, we
No, Leah is only allowed really, 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 really rich people. That's it. Sorry. We're very strict about that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm like her crazy fucking stepdaddy. I'm serious. Really, 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 really. If you really, 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 you know what? If it's X or somebody like that, we'll consider it. We'll consider it. Yes. No, we'll have. I would have an auction for the men on the network. You see, in the old days, we used to do calendars. So, like the first 3 incarnations of this network, we had calendars for the men and women on the network. You know, everybody was young and good looking and shit. So I said, "When are you gonna start doing the calendars again?" I said, "What, you want me to scare people? Get the fuck out of here, man!"
Calendars from the old days.
That's what I'm saying. You know,
Hit us with the right
it's too much. That's Laura Lee Fillmore. What is with these long names? I usually give me one word. What do you got for us? Why do you don't think aliens are real? I mean, wait, clarify. Yeah. Extraterrestrial aliens or illegal aliens? You know, we've talked about both tonight, so
they're both real.
Specific on this forum.
So extraterrestrials. Why don't you think they're real? Well, I mean, really, why? Because all people who think they're real are crazy.
That leads me to think that there's people out there. If you don't believe in it, like if you refuse it, if you're just like, no, this is just psycho people talk. This is all conspiracy. That person is, I don't know, like living in a different frequency or something where the communication just doesn't happen.
And that state is denial. The fact is that it is mathematically, if you think about it, if you just think about our solar
I like Leah's version. She called y'all an idiot.
Has more than 250 things that could be like a planet. More than 250 things that are actually bigger than our planet. And you think about that, you times that by, you know, however trillions of solar systems there are in this galaxy alone. It's mathematically impossible we're alone in this galaxy. And by
it's not just that, but with all of the whistleblowers and all of the personal testimonies of people, like there's something for you to step back and deny that it exists. To me, that's the crazy.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's a few.
I mean, I don't want to like be rude or anything, but
you're like,
no, that's a nice way to say that they're Looney Tunes. Leah.
Don't worry, guys. They're crazy. Anybody believe in aliens is fucking crazy. Don't worry about it. It's what do you mean? Well, I y'all know I'm fucking crazy, so don't even go there. That's not gonna. You're not gonna offend me with that shit.
Does that mean that what I saw with my own eyes? Like what I saw standing right in front of me, face to face, like I could kiss it if I wanted to. I was that close.
Nasty kissing on Grace.
I was 10.
Yeah, they're
you're about the same height then. I'm kidding.
It was actually a little shorter than me.
Oh, really?
Right. Yeah. It was tiny.
I had a live alien experience as well. It came on the interestingly, it came on the heels of Carl Winters or White. Oh, geez, who's that guy? Ex-Air Force. Me and names tonight. Anyway, there was a coast to coast archive special thing. It's like, hey, let's talk about aliens and all of our favorite shows. And what Carl comes on. I think his name's Carl, and he describes these beings. who are he called the Tall Whites.
Charles Hall.
One more time.
Charles Hall.
Hall. Tall White. Charles,
Possibly.
Area 53.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Anyway,
Uncle
and he was
Charles
just
Hall.
basically a weather range guy.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's Charles Hall.
That's Charles Hall. Yep.
Yeah.
So he describes the Tall Whites. Now they kind of, they're kind of a mix between the Nordics and the taller grays, and they got the wispy hair, or it's kind of like it's platinum at least. I don't know about wispy, but so back in 2002, I was a DJ. Now I'm working over at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. For those of you who
I
know
used to
where
live in
that
Santa
is.
Cruz.
Say again.
I lived in Santa Cruz.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
So there's there's at the far end of the one side of the boardwalk above the golf course, the mini golf area. There's that big rotunda where they hold whatever. This time it was a class reunion, and so I'm with my partner on the job, and we're loading up from the truck to the cargo elevator out there. And I see this girl, and she looks to be about maybe 10, maybe 12. And she's dressed kind of like Waldo. She has red pants on and a red and white short sleeve shirt, big red rimmed sunglasses. And she has a page boy cut about yay and platinum blonde. And her skin was super, super light. Alabaster, albino, whatever it is you want to call it. And she's playing with a group of kids that look to be about half her age, 5, 6, and they're all playing tag with her, but they didn't quite get it. Or the girl didn't get it. So she'd tag, and then they'd run around her and tag her back, and then am I it again? Like, she didn't understand how to play tag. It was bizarre. And one peculiar feature about her, more than her appearance, was her fingers and her hands. Her fingers, I'm not kidding you, were 2 of mine put together. They were that long.
Yeah, they're really long.
And I'm kind of looking at her, and I'm recalling Carl's story or Charles' story, sorry. And I have the sense enough to make sure I'm not hallucinating. So I nudge my buddy who's doing the gig with me, and I say, "You see that girl? She's kind of weird. She's got really long fingers and everything." And he looks up. Yeah, that's weird, and goes right back in the gig. He's all about the gig. And so I got a little bit of confirmation, but it doesn't end there. Suddenly, all the younger human kids get called away. It's time to leave, and she's left alone, and she's kind of humming and hawing, and then she sees, at the time, the brand new 2002 VW Bug, and it was lime green.
What color? Oh, green.
Lime green, like bright lime green.
I know, it was an annoying color.
Yeah, really annoying color. And she loses her little kid mind, and she points at it, and she's oh. Now she's not making any noises, not with her mouth at all, but she's miming, and she keeps looking back. Look at that! Look at it. Like she recognizes it. She knows it from somewhere, and she looks back, and I follow her line of sight, and there's what I'm pretty sure was a woman. She was in the only way I can describe the way she was dressed was in Jedi robes, including a hood. And next to her, and this woman was easily 6.5, maybe 7 feet tall. No lie. And she's just standing there, hands within her robes. You can't see it because I blacked out there on the screen. But next to her are 2, bracketing her, I should say, are 2 men in black, but they're wearing overcoats of different colors. One's beige, one's like a lighter blue.
On the beach.
On the, where
you
pull up on the curb, if you've been there, there's that curb over by that loading zone area. That's where it was. That's where they were. So the woman, and there was a hint of a breast under the robe. That's why I assume it was a female. And she doesn't say anything at all. she simply goes like this. Stop. I'm giving her words. She didn't say anything. No words. Stop. Come here now. And this little girl, oh my God, huffs and puffs and throws a full-on tantrum, just like I guess kids across the universe are all the same. And she huffs and puffs and goes all the way back to her mom. We see the man in black go something like this, ears, finger to the ear, mic in the sleeve, and a limo, not even 60 seconds later, comes tearing, and I mean not driving very safely at all. Comes tearing around the corner, zooms into that little cutout you might remember there, Leah. And
I do. I know exactly where you're talking about.
Yeah. So it zooms into that little cutout. They're standing right there. It screeches to a halt. Doors open. They get in, and that thing leaves like a bat out of hell. And that was my alien experience. And it took me a while to really recognize what I was looking at.
It was probably Johnny Winter's daughter.
It could.
I hung out with that dude. I hung out with him and Edgar. I was lucky enough to meet them both in one night. But yeah, their daughter, or one of them.
Could be Frankenstein. He did do this song Frankenstein.
Exactly.
Why would any affluent, high-ranking member of another planet's parliamentary cabinet, or whatever you want to call it, what interest does any other planet civilization have in us?
They come for the garlic. They want garlic.
Did they come here just to hang out on Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk?
Well, apparently, according to Charles or Carl, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the name again.
Charles. Yeah.
Thank you.
Charles. Oh, yeah.
He said when he got further into the program, because of his interactions with the aliens he interacted with, that Vegas, Times Square, and apparently the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk all have a bunch of weird enough people that no one's really going to notice a 7-foot-tall woman.
Mix right in. The Lower East Side.
I mean,
Soho. Come on, man. Soho.
What about nowadays? I mean, I have been kind of stuck for the most part in the Midwest, but I have gone back to California. I was just there a year ago. How about now? Now that it looks like it's, a lot of businesses have shut down and abandoned their posts, basically. What all like the insurgence of homeless people, encampments, and the fall of the economy in these bigger cities. Is it harder now for there to be a hiding place in that?
I would say no, because you still have the, unfortunately, sometimes mentally unhinged on the streets in these encampments, and they're the other weirdos, I put in quotes, are gonna blend in.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that's why they took them to all these tourist traps like Vegas and Times Square and Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, among others. Is because they just would blend in.
I used to live in Vegas too.
Yeah, well,
I lived in Las Vegas for a year to the day, and I became pretty acquainted with the weird of Las Vegas. So
well, that's what I'm talking about. They just blend right in. You'd never know.
Yeah, that's the thing. You particularly in Vegas or Reno, I mean, most people are. If you take an alien through like where the gaming tables are, who's going to look at them?
No one's going to blink twice.
What are you doing the gaming tables? You're watching the games. You're not watching people walk by. You're watching.
Yeah, no, that's what they're going to think it's part of a show.
Yeah, unless you work there and you're security, you don't give a damn about anyone standing around you unless
people
they're
don't notice
money.
The people on the lower margins of society anyway. They don't look at them. They don't acknowledge them. If they think someone's just a homeless person, they step right over them. So that's the way. If you want to float around and not be noticed, that's the way to do it.
Alien, you go to a place where there's high activity.
In plain sight. Absolutely.
The gambling hall. Most people are going to be watching the games, and then they're going to be concentrating on the people, especially like a dice game, like craps. If you bet your money on someone rolling the dice for you, you're paying attention to that person if they're making you money.
I tell you,
Period.
the,
You
the
give a
Kardashians are
rat's
aliens.
ass about
You
who's
want to see
walking
an alien
behind
family?
a 9-foot tall
Kardashians.
white woman. Who cares? This guy just made me $1,000. Roll.
Yeah, exactly. that you're exactly right. That's exactly what Charles said.
No,
And,
Uncle Charles. Charles is actually a good friend of mine, man. I think I was the first person his wife ever she actually approached my wife about getting him on when I was on Wake Up USA.
That's cool.
And he came on with his very first book. He was very shy, very withdrawn, and I started fucking with him right out the gate. And I was like, Charles, I said, come on, dude, now. You telling me you took aliens went to Vegas? I mean, come on, dude. Vegas. They went gambling at a fucking casino. I said, you said these things are like 7, 8, 9 foot tall. I said, come on, dude. I said, now, Vegas is a weird place. And you won't notice that thing. But you look at this guy's 9 foot tall. We got like, so you might actually notice that. And he's like, and he came on. I got to be friends with his wife. And we talked a lot. And I said, well, look, I said, you're the only person who has seen these tall white aliens. I said, the organization I work for, we're very funny about what we consider to be legitimate reports. I said, I don't think you're lying. I said, I'd voice dress you tomorrow. I think you'd pass instantly. I said, I'd hypnotize you. I said, I have no doubt that you absolutely 100% believe what you're telling me. I said, that is not my issue. My issue is what you're telling me true or not. I said, that's what I need to know. So the next few shows I did with him between Wake Up USA and UFO Undercover, I said, look, people, so if you're in Vegas and you've experienced these tall whites in any shape, form, or fashion, please write to me. I said, I need more evidence. And then I asked Charles to tell me some stuff that he had made public in the book. So, people started calling, and we got a lot of crazies, but we had a taxi cab driver call in and tell us he had seen him. He was working for a limo that night, and he was chauffeuring him around. And then we had another limo driver tell us we had two Baccarat dealers tell us. And then I'm like, kind of shaky witnesses. And we had one of the floor managers call in and tell us they had seen him. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. And then out of the blue, I was talking about an experience that happened in New Orleans during Katrina and how some of these cops had witnessed it. And two back-to-back state troopers called in. They were friends. And the one guy calls in. He said, yeah, I was working casino duty. I was over there checking and making sure everything was on the up and up when I seen these things. He said, I got to tell you, Joe, my natural instinct was to reach for my gun. And he said, then I got this feeling, no, it's nothing. So he said he thought that maybe they gave away some kind of telepathic thing that made anybody see him just kind of relax and get calm. The other guy said about the same thing. He pretty much said about the same thing. They gave a really good description of them and how they were dressed and the whole 9 yards, from the long peacoat style things to hats and glasses and all kind of other stuff. And what's weird about it is stuff that you couldn't go in a casino in yourself. If you went all bundled up and covered up like that, they'd ask you to get undressed at the door.
Yeah.
They'd be like, no, you can't go in with your all face all covered up and shit. That does not work in a casino. They were having shit fits when the mask had to come out for COVID. They were like, they did not like this, because you don't know who's walking around. And then we got reports from 3 different casinos all together. I think it was 4 or 5 cops, a handful of limo and taxi drivers and stuff like that, and a handful of witnesses from casinos that seen him over a course of 3 years. So obviously they just didn't go one time. So then finally, after about 4 years of this, I was talking to a friend of mine who worked for the government. So, it's Area 51, Area 52, Area 53, Area 54. It's just what they are. And so I got a friend of mine who's working at Los Alamos, and I had actually had him looking in. I had her looking into what's his name? Jesus, now I can't remember. It's Bob Lazar. I had her looking into Bob Lazar, and they were doing research. And when they came up with this. This individual, I got this name, who said that they had made a report to the constable on the base that they had seen this, and it took forever. I had to call favors all over the place, and then finally, someone got the guy's number for me. He was stationed in not in Roswell, and damn, I can't remember, San Antonio.
Mm.
And I finally get hold to him. I said, well, you know what? I got a friend stationed there. I'm going to fly down and talk to you. He's like, sure. So I fly down and start talking to him. This dude, the more we talked, the bigger his eyes got. He was just freaking him out. It was just freaking him out. And he said, you know, when I started pressing the issue, I started getting threatened to be sent to Alaska, sent to the Antarctic. It's like, what? And he's like, no, they were being serious, Joe. And people kept telling me, drop it. It's no concern of yours. Drop it. And he said, but I saw, he said, no. And then one guy tried to tell him it was some kind of fake drone thing they had. They gave him all kind of excuses. And of course, he dropped it because he didn't want to get thrown out to service or sent to, man, who wants to go to Alaska or the Arctic? Antarctic. I mean, it's not a place I want to go hang out for a long period of time. Unless we're going looking for Admiral Byrd City, then I might go hang out.
I might be done with that.
That might be a little different, but yeah, it's all so strange though. And it's like it seems like we get blocked with information here and there, and you know, one time it might be the government, one time it might be a group, and one time it might be the aliens themselves. It's just enough to keep the human race from really knowing what's going on. As far as the government knows jack. People tell me, the government knows everything. I said, no, the government knows.
Yeah, but it's the same tactic our intelligence services use. It's the same tactics that religions use. I mean, they did it with the Bible. There's like how many different councils of Nicaea?
Well, let's be honest. The government gets their information from contactees. That's why they have military abductions.
Yeah.
If they had all
this, everybody here.
No.
Now, Donald Trump just declassified Martin Luther King, JFK, RFK, whatever. People got shot and killed. Is he going to declassify alien UFO information, man?
He doesn't have the clearance to do it.
No clearance, Clarence?
Well, he doesn't have the clearance to do it. He had the clearance to declassify all of that stuff, but anything that would be controlled by any of the areas we just mentioned, 1, 2, 3, or 4, he doesn't have the clearance.
Is there area 1?
It's strictly fucking need to know. No, it's just a number of lots out there. No, it was just a lot.
East to west.
There's supposed to be a new area. Well, you know, they got those rigs out in the Gulf now where they have these big underground facilities.
Yeah,
they've had those for a while too, but they moved a lot of their stuff away from Area 51. There's too much attention to it, and you know, we allow countries to do flybys over our bases now. So you don't want to have nothing lurking around and shit.
Trump's renaming the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America.
Yeah, me and him are going to talk about that, man.
How is he going to get that across? I mean, how is that going to work? How do you make that happen?
It's just going to be in America. All the books will be changed to Gulf of America. Just think every school in the United States will have to change their history book to it says Gulf of America.
It could be the Gulf of the Americas.
It should have been a Gulf of Americas is what it should have been because it's all the Americas. But and that would have kept Mexico and them off our ass. Oh, well, it's ours. We're fuck you, Mexico.
He's on a revenge kick. I'm surprised he's saying it's the Gulf of fuck you. You know what I mean?
Don't give him no ideas, Michael. Shit.
That's mountain fuck you. You know.
Don't give him no fucking ideas because he might.
In jail. Fuck you. I'm president now. Fuck you. And look, I got
so wait. So is YouTube going to throw you off for putting any of these new documents up on YouTube since the government released them? I mean, they did that with Fauci. You posted shit Fauci said, and they would fucking ban your ass.
I've never seen a dude so happy to be like back in the show. Like he's just psyched, man. He's just pent up with stuff, you know. And you're right, he doesn't sleep. He's just kind of just going and doing his thing. Man.
Well, actually, today, last 2 days, he seemed very relaxed, very very laid back. I think he's real happy with how everything's taken off. He seems very comfortable, way more than he did it first time around. I think, and he said this himself.
Got some good.
By the way, breaking news. Pete got certified. He's the new head of the Pentagon. Yes, he's the new head of the Pentagon, man. Woo woo woo!
How many presidents would sit and think about what I'm going to do? This is how I'm going to do it. These are my executive
orders. All of them. They just don't give a shit how to do it.
Prepared, you know what I mean? He knows what to do. Most of the others, it's a face job, right? I mean, corporate CEO spokesman, but Trump is not that way. He's very hands-on.
Well, that's 2 of his big nominees out the way now. So we got Mark out the way.
End the war. No more funding. No more money, buddy. You
No. That's not true. Now we'll get into that in a second. But since Pete got confirmed, this is going to be interesting. So what your boy did was he cut off everybody, not just the Ukraine. He cut off everybody. So they're going to go back and evaluate all the money we're sending to everybody around the planet that we give money to.
But the plan was to end the war and not keep fueling it, not keeping it going.
Well,
Trump
taking
said
the money
that
away from Zelensky's not
a
ending
million
the
dead
war.
Russians and 600,000 dead Ukrainians. It's like there's no reason for it. You know what I mean? It should never have happened. You know what? Trump is very common sense, and he always was politically. I never liked him. I don't like him now, but we need him, and I think that he's going to do. I think he's going to do the job that we need him to do. Put that.
Yep, I agree.
As do I.
Kyle Trump. We'll just have to wait and see where all that goes. I just,
he's Trumpzilla. He's like invincible. They shot him, and he's keep going and going.
He's settling down a little bit now. We're going to see where he goes.
He wants to unite the world.
Seeing Bolivia today makes him look really relaxed. I
was watching a video around Reagan and Jimmy Carter, and this is when I was really young when this shit was going on. But just watching, I couldn't watch much of it because I really hate Jimmy Carter. Like I don't like Reagan either, but I really hate listening and looking at Jimmy Carter. And he was a terrible president. I remember that from being a kid, from all the adults bitching constantly of what a terrible president him, his brother Billy. Billy borrowed millions of bucks from Libya and whatever, didn't pay it back. And then, he's always doing some horse's ass thing and whatever. It was like an embarrassment to our country. But Carter, what's funny? The housing crisis that Bill Clinton gave a Carter program muscles about that lending, the micro loan scandal. And the whole thing crashed and burned because Clinton basically told the lenders there's no bottom, just lend people whatever. And then when they couldn't pay it back, all right, they're getting loans for $600 a month. You're getting $500,000 loans, but then after 2.5, 3 years, it goes up to 4 or 5 times that payment. People weren't able to pay it, and the whole thing crashed and burned. That was a Carter policy. And then Clinton thought it was a good idea to put it forward. It really sent our country to a throw with the microloan scandal. But think about the concept. But Jimmy Carter was terrible. A lot of people say nice things because he's old and he died. He died, he had a privileged life. Maybe he built some homes for people. That's fine. But as president, he was terrible. He was terrible, man. I mean, just terrible. But Reagan was an actor, so I mean, a lot of
Ray was a little more than that. He was a little more than an actor. I mean, he was governor of California for 8 years.
He knew how to bullshit people. You know what I mean? Like he was good at that. It was the whole Star Wars program. He had the Russians scared shitless.
Well, I mean, but he had, because of his career with acting, he knew how to face the camera.
I like his response to the aliens when they asked him, "Are they aliens?" And then he was like, "What do you want?"
But in English, and people wouldn't have known the difference.
He was like, "What do you want me to tell you? Yeah, there's aliens, and yeah, they're real, and yeah, they're a threat." I know people in that room were like, "What did he say?"
No, he gave 7 speeches where he said the only thing that will unite the world is an alien invasion.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
or an attack from some external force, like external to the planet.
It was. They came over the border, man. There was an alien invasion. Millions of them came over to attack.
Unfortunately, I don't think he was talking about illegal aliens.
You know what's sad? The people who really like want a better life and that type of thing, and they were kind of sold the notion through George Soros and people like that to go trek north. Go ahead, go to the U.S., enter illegally, and they'll give you everything. I mean, and there's real people who are struggling, but it would be cheaper to help them where they are in the country that they're in and help their country get more structure than having them come here and just being on welfare. Only 8% of them who came here, the millions, signed up for a job. Only 8%. So think about that 92% that really doesn't want to work and do anything, but it's extraordinary amount of money. And then where does that money come from? Other poor people are get their benefits slashed because you have this millions of new people coming in that have no skills.
Well, you got to hold it in. We done passed the break, so we got to go to break, everybody. It's going to be a short one though, guys. The whole break will probably only be about 6 minutes. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be
in the chat.
Not even.
Well,
enough time
I
to
got
get
one
it
that's
over.
that's queued from the last cue, but it's but we're gonna be jetting out of here. Actually, this is gonna be the one y'all gonna get to hear. But anyway, that's not what you're gonna hear right now. Anyhow, that's just there for y'all to look at and go, what kind of weird shit is
evil.
that?
You like the drop.
It's just like, what is kind of weird as shit is Joe doing now? But anyway, we're going to get to hear a couple of promos here, and then we're going to roll the hell out on the music, and then we'll be right back. So stay tuned and stay out of trouble.
Welcome to Negotiating Happiness, the show that helps you find happiness, success, and balance in your work and life. I'm Adriana Fiestro, your host for this journey into entrepreneurship and personal growth. We're broadcasting live on 107.7 and 105.3 FM in New Orleans as part of the United Public Radio Network. We explore the latest strategies, insights, and stories from successful entrepreneurs and experts. From managing stress to building a thriving business, we've got you covered.
What's out there? What creates the shadows in the corners or the creatures of the dark? Who are those on the other side? What do they have to say? This is the Gateway Podcast. This is not your normal style of paranormal talk radio. Brought to you live from United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM New Orleans.
Hi, I'm Brittany Ashley, your host of Breaking Norms, Building Dreams, your guide through this transformative journey in both business and life. This is your place crafted for dreamers, doers, or anyone who has been told they can't. Get ready as we challenge those narratives together. You're tuning in live to the United Public Radio Network, airing on 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. We are streaming on all the popular platforms every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me for a candid and thought-provoking conversation celebrating your unique journey because you are worth it.
When they are consuming your minds and your thoughts and your dreams, from the angels to the demons and to the mysteries unseen, there is no need to worry. There is no need for dread. It's just time to discuss the thing at the foot of the bed.
The light was gone, the curse began, the final reckoning of mortal man. Beneath the ash, the shadows crawl, a city lost, its towers fall. The keeper stands where the bloodlines break, bound by vengeance, a choice to make. Chains of fire grip his soul, a path to freedom demands the toll. Slayer of the damned, he walks alone, cursed to shatter, yet claim no throne. The blade he wields both curse and key, a fate entwined with eternity. Whispers rise in a ghostly choir to save the damned, ignite the pyre. Through withered woods and haunted plains, he finds the tomb where the cursor remains.
That must be Leah in a bad mood.
A voice speaks forth from the shrouded dark. The Slayer's hand must bear the mark. Chains of fire grip his
Reminds me of a broken Leo.
path to freedom demands the toll. Slayer of the damned, he walks alone, cursed to shatter, yet claim no throne. The blade he wields both curse and key, a fate entwined with eternity. You think salvation lies ahead, but those you save will see you dead. He casts his gaze to the heavens above. The stars bear witness, but offer no love. The damned now scream for his defeat. He stands alone, his will complete. Slayer of the damned, his legend grows. Among the lost where the darkness flows, he bears the scars, the broken chain, a martyr bound to eternal pain. Chains of fire grip his soul, a path to freedom demands the toll.
See, this is what happens when I don't get out enough, man. It's this is just one of these things that happens when I don't get out enough. Well, welcome back, everyone. Welcome to News on the Flip Side. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Whatever the hell that was. Oh no, I can get into some serious rock, people. Don't get me wrong. What do you mean? Where did I ever go to what? Have I ever been in a mosh pit? Yes, I have. And think about this: the first time I'd ever been in a mosh pit, I'd just come out of Special Forces training.
So you're throwing elbows and shit.
It was bad, man. It was bad. There's people laying on the ground all over the place. I was sitting there. And of course, I looked like a skinhead back then because I had no hair in my head. I've actually. What do you mean? I've been to a lot of concerts. Yes, I like going to concerts. I like. See, the thing for me is it's weird. You know, when you look at my family, I have a much older family ahead of me. Now they're all dying, and they're much younger because I have great grandchildren and shit. So, plus I have the radio network, so I'm inundated with music. So I have a wide range of taste. I can't be pigeonholed in one kind of music anymore. When I was younger, I was. I mean, I was pretty much just rock and rock and rock and rock and rock, and everybody else could fuck off. You know. Yeah. Well, a good friend of mine turned me on to Ozzy Osbourne, and the first song I ever heard was Iron Man. And I was fucked up. Yeah. I'm like, whoa, what is this, man? I'm liking this. And then I seen some bitch in concert at Tulane Stadium in New Orleans, and he's biting bat heads off. And speaking of that, on a little short segue, just before I came on, I was looking up. I said, "What is that? A giant cockroach I got in my house or some shit?" It was a freaking bat, man.
Oh,
it was about that big. Yeah, I had to swish his ass out the door. Thank God my dogs didn't see him. It would have been all kind of shit. My Chihuahua thinks she's a killer. She hunts mice and shit. She's nuts, man. Anyway,
that's crazy.
Not to digress, but no, I always did like a wide range of music, and I can go some really laid back.
Music. A couple of days at work, a couple of days ago, we were playing music, and they kept playing the same old stuff over and over again. So at one point, I commandeered one of the computers and just at random, I figured I hadn't heard any good classical in a while, so I played. It's not really a classical album, but I played the soundtrack to A Clockwork Orange, which has quite a few nice classical pieces on it, both in the original gramophone recordings, but also in some of the new forms that Wendy/Walter Carlos turned into electronic pieces, particularly like Beethoven's Ninth. And the guys are ripping me about the classical parts. I'm like, dude, if it wasn't for this, you wouldn't have had the shit we were listening to just a few months ago. So learn to respect the music.
No, that's not a good. A lot of classicals are really good. There's a lot of good ones.
There is a lot of great classical stuff out there. There is.
Oh yeah.
A friend of mine lost a good bet with me one day because we were talking about music on phones and shit, you know, back in the old days when you'd call and leave a message. And he said, "Man, why don't they should use some classics?" I said, "Greenpeace is a classic." He said, "No." I said, "Oh, it's a big classic, dude. It's not just a classic. It's a Greensleeves. I'm sorry." I said, "It's not just a classic. It's a fucking massive classic." So it's not one of my favorites, by the way, but it is. So I said, "I'll tell you what. I bet you 500." And back then, 500 was probably about 2,000 a day.
Right.
And he said, "All right, I'll do it. So he looked it up. He comes by my house like 2 days later. He's got this little cute envelope and all from me. He said, "Here." I'm like, "Here what?" I'm like, "What's the matter?" He said, "Here, just take your money and shut up." I said, "Don't rub it in." I'm like, "What?" He said, "How did you know that?" I said, "Because I went to private schools and we used to go see concerts." And it's one of the differences, though. If regular private schools would do that, it helps change your education, because we went to a concert a month. Sometimes it would be a classic concert. They even took us to rock concert. That's the first person I ever seen Rush with was at school. They took us to see Rush. They also, we also got to see a lot of the classics. We got the Madame Butterfly
They
and
are a
stuff
classic
like
now,
that.
by the way, and they are also very good in concert. I've seen them about 15 or 16 times throughout different tours and albums, and they are fantastic. And they're like wine; they got better with age too.
It was a weird. And I like to go to concert. And then we just did another weird thing for you. So we're out one night, and a friend of mine said, "Man, it sucks you're not going to come." I said, "Dude, I'm too broke. I can't afford the ticket." I said, "I'll drop y'all off at the concert, and I'll pick y'all up later on, because I knew y'all gonna get toasted." So just call me, because back then there wasn't even cell phones, wasn't even pagers, man. You had to call me at the house, and I had to use it. You had to use a payphone to call me at the house phone. So yes, people in the Stone Age. That's what that was. The dial. Y'all don't even
the rotary, absolutely.
Oh man! So he hands me the 2 tickets. He said, I wanted to look at the picture. I said, "These are really cool." And I handed them back to him. As I did, I handed him 1 ticket, and I grabbed the other one. And when I did, I went like this, and it became 2 tickets. I mean, it was stuck together pretty good. I was like, "You shitting me?" Because I thought they just bought it and didn't tell me. He said, "No." I should have known them cheap bastards wouldn't have bought it anyway. But that was just weird. I guess I was meant to be at the concert. It was it was an experience. It was one of them day of rock and rolls. That was back. Oh yeah. Oh no, that wasn't it. I remember when Metallica was opening for Axl Rose and Guns N' Roses. I was like, and I remember that concert. I listened to him. I was like, so I heard them, and then Guns N' Roses came on. I said, "Well, fuck this. I want the other guys back." Really, I wanted the other guys back. I mean, don't get me wrong, Guns N' Roses is fine. I got decent music, but no, Metallica was like, "Yeah, fuck you, people." I was like, "Yeah, I want to listen to these guys some more." Oh man,
They were pretty cool. I liked quite a few of their songs and quite a few of their albums, and they were a garage band. I believe they started as Seattle Sound, but in any event, they started on the West Coast as a garage band anyway. And as a garage band, they encouraged their friends and followers and listeners to, while they were listening to them play and practice music, to record them and take them to other places and say, play their music for them, so that when they came around the area, people would want to hang out and listen to them. And then all of a sudden, Napster came around, like, "Oh no, don't play our music for free. We want you to pay us for it now." So at that
oh yeah,
point,
see, that's the other bad part. See, everything
you
we use
guys,
in
I stopped
Metallica
buying their
tonight.
albums.
Yeah, everything we use in Metallica tonight, we'll have to take off because they're banned in so many countries. It's
That's crazy.
we'll get hit with a copyright. Will keep us from
Whole move.
monetizing.
I mean, you can't have it both ways. You can't get your fame and fortune by telling your fans to go around and record your music for free and then play it for other people, so they'll get to like it and want to buy more.
Greedy billionaires. They're like, they're greedy.
Problem with it. So yeah, no, that was a straw on the camel's back right there, man.
Yeah, man.
It was a little bit on the ridiculous.
Can't take it with you, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they got kids and grandkids and great grandkids.
There's got to be a point where you're like, there's other things more important than money.
Fortunes with their stuff,
when you have enough money, when you have all the money, you know what I mean? And so I mean, you got the best of everything. You got your yachts, you got your land, you got whatever the hell you have the best of everything. At some point, you need something in your life that's going to fulfill you, man. You're not piling more money on the pile is not really what to do it. Humanity, help the people at the lowest level. You want to really feel fulfilled? That's the way to do it. Help the people at the lowest level.
Where is that on Mars?
Yeah, I'm trying to get it where we can see it better. I keep losing the damn thing on my on where I got
not handouts either. I mean, you help people where they can help themselves. God helps those who help themselves, right? Isn't that
that's a true statement?
That's the saying.
It's been the same for eons.
Wow.
Let's see what they go. Ow!
Found
where the
Mars'
hell is
belly
this?
button.
So this is what they're showing you. These cones.
Well,
These look like vents.
Yeah, they
Dude,
look
they're
like drill
giant
marks.
anthills.
They look
I mean,
like
ants
mud.
are
They're
gonna
like
get-
mud walk kind of entrances.
Yeah, they do.
They're pretty uniform though.
The ants are gonna get you.
Or
They look
ants,
like
yeah.
drill
Mars
marks. You know, when they
ants
sample the soil.
attack.
It's weird. They're definitely pretty uniformed,
Mhm.
and
They're definitely
yeah.
holes. But to where? To what?
Well,
What's in
obviously,
there?
because it's going up, but I mean,
I mean, it could be something man-made. It could be something
Something
natural,
came
too.
out of it.
it could be a hot air vent.
Something came out of it and formed the area around it.
It looks like a giant crawfish hole.
You
What
know,
to
so I've
say,
seen
man?
No, I'm
mud
with
walks
paper
in
wasp.
Den.
Giant paper wasps. I'm with Jay.
No, not paper wasps. They're the kind of you see them on the side of like brick buildings. They make it's like mud tunnel they build on the side of the building.
Yeah, paper wasp.
The mud
They do
wasp.
that.
A mud dauber.
Yeah, no, mud dauber is actually like a amphibian.
Ow, turn that shit off, Bill. What the fuck's that noise all about? Get out of my ear.
With the
Damn.
micro. A buddy of mine was the guy who gave the latest Mars probe their microphone on a recommendation.
Wait. Did you say your buddy probed the Mars thing? Wait, what? Did I miss something here?
No, they consulted him as to what.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering. I was like, man, I don't think you're allowed to do that, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Tell us. Go
They
ahead.
consulted him what mic to use, and so he said, he did some research. He was he took it pretty seriously, and he went back to his JPO contacts and said, "This is what I recommend. I think it can withstand everything, upon reentry and roaming the planet and all that fun stuff." So they followed his instructions, and he was able to listen to the first sounds on Mars when at the control there. It was pretty fun.
These planets and these solar systems, stuff in these solar systems makes so many sounds. Some of them are so eerie. Matter of fact, I have a collection I play on Halloween. It's Jupiter and Saturn and a couple of other. It is eerie sounding. It's almost like they're talking.
The pieces made by Holst. That classic is that what you're talking about? What you play?
No,
I'd have to go look. I'd have to go look. It just says "Sounds of Jupiter" is what it says, and it's got a couple of them that go along.
The
with it.
actual like recording. Yeah, the Holst is this composer who composed a thing called the Planets. 9 pieces representing the 9 planets up there, and one for the sun.
Hey, at least I didn't make y'all listen to no red food tonight. So, yeah, I like my red food. I will kick y'all ass, and we were laughing at red food now. He's for a white boy. He got some pretty good movements. It's and he's making a shitload of money off some of that stuff. I was like, okay, let's see. Is this the one? This one might be too long, but we'll see. Let's go. Present. You share your damn screen and put it up there. I got a couple of these. I just don't know which one this one is. Let's see. Get off the commercial. Let's hit it.
Whoops.
Go get the fucking job.
They cut my food stamps. No more food stamps. Go work.
I don't think this is the one.
Go work.
Hope your day gets better.
I've seen this.
It is fine.
Positive energy.
Anybody wants to know, this is people who were upset when Trump lost.
I love how narcissistic they are to record themselves and do this stuff. It's so fun.
Oh my god!
Ow,
Why
that's
did
my
you
ear.
screaming? Like seriously.
America, how can you do this to us again? How are we supposed to live another 4 years like this? What the hell?
Well, he's like, what? I
What
don't
did you
remember
do
him
to
throwing
us?
gays out the country or nothing last
Hey,
time.
so listen, I'm gonna let y'all know this
Uh-oh,
right
here we
now,
go. She's
okay?
tough,
So you little trumpets, like
You know,
y'all
fuck with
won.
this chick.
I know you're happy. Whatever.
I think
Nobody
Leah
acting like
Taker
little
just
losers.
keeps clapping.
However, y'all need to leave me the f- alone because I got one more cigarette in me before I start lighting your asses up. Alright? And that's
Right.
just the United States of America.
Right.
Actually, a lot of people are making a lot of noise, right? This is the fourth video in, and we've encountered multiple mental breakdowns.
We know
Paris
Leah
did
was
not
doing
win.
this, y'all. Leah and Amelia were doing
Trump.
this.
You were crying about it?
So we're
She's a huge nose. Oh my god.
so
Is that real?
Why don't you point
may
that
look a
camera
little
somewhere
different
else?
at
Show
school.
her a fake nose.
Okay, they're probably going to be
Maybe something to
friends
crawl out of there.
who
Is the
have
video just messed
questions.
up, like stretching her head?
Um,
That's not right.
I'm sure your teachers are going to.
Like, you are doing your kids a massive, massive disservice. You know this, right? I hope you are fully aware of what you're doing.
Racist, anti-gay.
They just found the name Trump in their city, right? At the Trump building, and protested there. Bro, he lives in Florida. Bet you won't do that there.
To urge people with ovaries and uteruses and women and anyone assigned female at birth to not look at men, not talk to men, not entertain men, not look for validation in men, not.
Save a lot of
See, so
money
what
that
she's
way.
saying here is all
Those
Democratic
are a lot of
men
money,
suck.
lady.
And
Thanks.
those thoughts around men and look
But I mean, the Democratic men
for
voted
men
for
and up to men
Kamala. Why are they
on
hating
what they
on
should
them?
think and what they should decide, because
Not
No
all
pussy,
men,
but
just
you.
they've never
Republic
seen us as
men.
anything
That's what
but
they think.
procreation
Yeah,
machines
no pussy, but you.
and pleasure
That's
objects
for
and
you.
dolls.
Save a lot of money that way.
Anybody know how to find or hire a hitman or woman?
Chick, you better be careful. You end up
we
in
don't want to-
jail.
So, but I think we could pull this off
Idiot.
collectively. If you want to chip in, DM.
I beg your pardon.
Crazy part about that statement is that that's an actual threat. And I'm almost
Yes, you
positive
go to
that's
fucking jail for
almost
that.
an actionable
hitman.
threat. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
that's
you should
very
be
true.
able to come onto the internet because you are, in fact, not happy with the results of an election.
Trump will have her
You then
arrested.
start
He
all
watches that
willy-nilly
stuff.
I don't have to
threatening
worry
the
about FBI.
president
Yeah,
in general. You know what I mean? Here it is.
Oh,
It's a little crazy, but nothing will happen. to
Can't
her, I'm
threaten the
sure.
fucking
I'm so
president,
glad
man.
you guys got your cheap
Whoa,
ass
whoa.
groceries and your cheap ass gas because you're broken. You're broke. You're broke. Broke. I said
Every time I see those nose rings, I think of a 9-volt battery.
Thank you so much. We love you so much.
I don't love you.
But we love you.
I don't love you.
I hope God
I
helps
do
you.
not want your love. I want you to find yourself in a Princess Diana car accident.
Wow.
Oh, that was just cold, man.
Guys, what?
I'm coming for every single straight man in my family.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Y'all around and found out.
Hi, you
And now this
stupid
is gonna
bitch.
happen.
Hi.
You're welcome. So I am
Okay.
absolutely, now I'm sure, now I'm positive
Mhm.
that the yearly hunting trip that y'all have
So
been
far,
having,
I haven't seen anybody
that
can
my
take
father
Leah.
hosts,
So
that,
I feel
that my
safe.
uncle goes on, that my uncles, my brother, my
You can
cousins
tell
that
by
are
the
like my
crazy
brothers,
pink hair.
their friends that have all known me my entire
Yeah,
life, that
identify.
Okay.
claim to love and respect me.
This chick is whacked,
Have
man.
been having a yearly
Rachel
claim to
Mad
love and
Cow
respect
Jr.
women in general, but obviously that's
So because they didn't vote for
School
your
talk.
candidate, you
I mean,
think that
what
they
the
don't
hell?
They
respect
think
you?
they're the center of the universe.
That's the reason.
Someone told them that
What do
everything they
you
say
have
is
to do with
important.
their vote?
You know?
Again,
And
people
all of
should
a sudden
not be
now
sharing
that's what
their
you got
votes
these
for
monsters
other
you're
people's causes
creating.
that do not directly affect
Woke
them.
is
Listen, I was
dead.
very blindsided by the results this morning.
to me. Have been having a yearly claim
Oh,
to
wow.
love
How
and
did this
respect
chick get
Holy
back?
cow.
What the hell
Woke,
happened?
I honestly
woke
might go get a
is
tattoo.
dead.
But I also have
Work
decided
dead.
that for the next 4 years, I am going to abstain from with men. And
Good.
funny enough,
Yeah.
I
She's
actually
gonna
just
go
broke
buy
up with my
one of them less
boyfriend a
vibrator.
handful of days before the election. I highly encourage
Well,
any other
guys.
women that are single.
Number one selling vibrator in the United States.
267. You remember that plan that we came up when we was on vacation?
Run, baby, run.
On Memorial Day, she was like, "Yeah,
Oh
I
shit,
do."
man.
I
That,
said it's time to put that
that
plan
made
into
me
action.
thinking
So
of
the
the movie
plan
Kunta Kinte.
is children.
Roots.
It's on her
Victoria,
head.
BC. I
Looks-
looked it up the first
What
time.
do they
we
call
went on
that?
this. Victoria,
Zippy
BC.
Pop Popcorn.
They are one of the best places for Black people to go. They are one of the warmest places.
It's like
in
a
Canada,
shower
and
shower
it's
cap,
not
isn't
too
it?
far from here, from where I live at least. No matter
Oh God.
what you do,
Oh,
you
wow.
will never You will never put out my love. You will never
What the hell is
make
this?
me give up hope.
The glasses are tragic.
I'm confused. Is this a girl boy or boy girl? Or is it a trans girl or trans boy? What the hell is this?
There's an ugly check.
Shut up!
We are about to enter
Oh my God, we all know what
political
this
period
is.
that will have
Girl, you
consequences
can't
for the
work
rest
on
of
the
our
sun
lives.
when it's nighttime.
We now find ourselves in a time in
Another one that
history
takes
that
himself
has
too seriously.
precedent. And we
And the
find
millionaires
ourselves
who put her
in
out there, I
a
mean, she's
time
owned.
where there are times
It's
of
massive.
fascism and authoritarianism.
Okay, so basically what I'm getting from all of this is that the first thing that he's going to do is immediately find a woman and just take her rights away. Is that what the narrative is, guys?
I really do not like crying on the internet, but I'm not even about to pretend like this some shit that I'm finna be embarrassed about, bro. Like, I ain't never been so devastated behind an election. And it's just like, when you a black woman surrounded by black men and they say all this, like, oh, he's not that bad, and oh, he just hates everyone, bro. Like, it was my brother homeboy I was talking to the other day, a black man, and I found out that he's a Trump supporter. I'm like, he does not like you. And he was like,
A lot
oh
of
no, he
black
just
people
don't like
like
everybody.
Trump, man.
What?
I mean,
So
that's
that's
a
a good
follow.
candidate for you? Someone who just hates
Yeah,
everybody?
that's
Like,
what they gave
what?
the lowest
And I'm
unemployment
be
rate in
crying in my
history
room
in
this
the
morning. My
last
brother gonna come up in here and say,
office.
what's wrong with you? Like, he can't think of one possible reason why I would be upset right now, bro.
Black women, you don't owe this country. You don't owe this country one thing.
No, now, come on, be
Not
careful now.
It's time for us to bunker down.
I will not ask you to look for any silver linings. I will not ask you to feel anything but grief right now. Donald Trump won
Ain't
the
this
election, and
Pocahontas?
the consequences will be real and
So
devastating.
this is, right?
But
Pocahontas.
I'm reminding myself and you
Elizabeth Warren,
that on the road
Pocahontas.
ahead, there will still be
It should be
opportunities to
Pinocchio
fight.
Hannes is what it should be. The way she lies.
Dentists hate when you
What
do
the
this,
hell?
but
Oh,
they
man,
can't
way to
stop
get off.
you.
You can't have commercials on our
This
network.
new
Get the fuck off of
$100
here.
dental device.
Oh my God. What does this have to do with the woman, guys?
I just texted my best friend of 14 years, and I asked them who they voted for. They said Donald Trump.
Quiet place. Okay. Why do they keep screaming?
I'm with you, brother. I have no idea
Why do they keep screaming?
Because they're fucking nuts.
Yeah.
You feel better?
They've completely lost all
Did that help you?
sense of reality.
I just don't understand why we can't have a female president. Like, why not?
Because we don't
And
base
he
our
won the
presidents on
popular vote.
sex. We base our presidents on what they can
He
do.
won the
Because
popular
you're
vote.
capable.
Also,
Like, perfect for the position do we have to be?
Way
I
better
will
than
make
her.
it my life's mission, my dying wish, that none of you weirdos can hide in the future. You can't lie to your kids. You can't lie to your grandkids
Weirdos.
about, oh, it was so confusing. It was hard to see the
Wait,
truth.
we have you on
He was
YouTube.
so
You're going to show this to
convincing.
your
I
kids?
will not let you get away with that. Like, that was not normal. This is not normal. I will make it clear to everyone. Like,
I think your
will make
first
sure
ex-husband
no
will
one is
make sure your
confused
kids see
about how
this, that
things
you
were,
can't get away with
in
it.
this very vital, crucial time in American history. That it was
imagine
not
even being around
It was
this
not
woman.
convenient at all.
There's no way
You
this
stood
chick
for
would
that.
be
You
You
can
stood
tell that
with
she's
that
an
and
amped
for
up
that.
asshole.
Like,
Imagine just
I
being
can't
around
emphasize
her
enough.
at
There
all.
will be nowhere to
Like,
hide.
without Trump derangement,
shiver
I'm
my
saying just
timbers.
her in
Shut
general.
up, man.
These people are
You know, everyone says that election day should be a national
they're
holiday.
sick-minded, man.
I
They all
agree.
have serious
I think the day
issues
after should
I
that
can
need
also
to
agree with
be
this
taken
chick
care
about
of.
the
And their
national
issues
holiday.
not Trump. Their issues are themselves.
What do you mean?
2 already. I have lost
This
2
dude.
friends today because of this election.
Guys, we literally don't even have to panic. We literally don't have to freak out right now. We don't even have to we don't have to freak out. We don't have to freak out because it's not even real. Because, bitch, freak out the vote.
I can't believe Trump's
Oh
actually
God,
going to
not
win
this guy.
thing.
This is the one who rips his
Oh,
shirt
Jesus
off.
Christ.
No,
I'm so
no,
Was
sick.
it
Boo!
your eyes?
Oh, man, that was
All
gross.
women should stop having for the next 4 years.
Okay, you can look now.
All I can say is how
We hope all you ugly
dare
women
you.
stop having sex for the next 4 years.
How dare you
Yeah, it's probably a
put this
good thing
man
they're
into
not having
office for
sex, really.
another 4 years?
Tell me how I literally went into today genuinely thinking I was going to witness history. Like, I really, really thought I was going to witness
You mean
a
herstory?
woman
Why would you think that
of
Harris was
color
a dumbass? If it had been a good
become
candidate, I could
president of the
understand it.
United States.
It seems like they just wanted us to vote for her exclusively because she was a woman.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
disregarding all the
That's
facts
exactly
that
what they wanted.
specifically the Democrat Party basically almost exclusively pushes a lot of anti-man sentiment. How are you expecting the people who you basically said were worse than a bear in the woods to come and come to your aid specifically with voting for your causes? Why? How can you believe that that's actually a thing? It sounds very counterproductive.
Why you have this
here,
dude on,
guys.
man? You don't understand. Just for the video.
That's
Okay,
okay.
you just don't get it. You have the privilege of not getting it, and that's great for you. I'm so happy for you, but I'm gonna.
How did we get here?
Take a deep breath. Take
How
a
did
deep
we
breath.
get
Take a
here?
deep breath.
What in
Oh
the
my
Alice
God,
in
take a
Wonderland
deep breath.
nightmares is going on right now? How the fuck are we back in this same situation again?
Oh wait, you
Who
too cute to be
is
a liberal.
voting for
Somebody just
him?
got your brain confused.
Genuinely,
Situation
it's
are they
just
referring
so
to, though?
So many people
awesome.
drink the Kool-Aid on this shit. It's kind of weird.
How
It's
much
like
this country
crashing
hates
in a
women.
car and being thrown from the car.
So awesome.
And then you roll
It's
over the
amazing
car.
because none of these
And then you
people
get
even
end up
know
back
each
in the
other.
Like, how
car.
awesome would it be to live in a country that like doesn't hate women? That'd be so cool.
You live in a
Right?
country that doesn't hate women,
I
dumbass.
have friends that use talk
4
like
years of a majority Senate,
that's
Don't
horrible.
think
of a majority house.
another country live that's better than this one. As
Most
far as
likely
say, oh, no,
7-2 Supreme
zero,
Court,
better out there. Go ahead, man.
a red president.
Go ahead.
Anyway, just connecting with nature.
Go to
because
Canada. Freeze your ass off.
No matter who the president
Which
is,
will
the
soon be
trees
America.
will never change. I'm not going to class today because I know who I am. Trust me, I know who I am.
All right, unhinged.
I literally know who I am. If I go to
Unhinged.
class today, I will yell at someone.
Okay.
I will get in a fight because I know
Okay,
who I
and
am.
then
Like
you
Johnny
will
in
go
that
to
Joker
jail.
video,
And they're,
I know who
you know,
I am. If I go to class today,
they've
I
got
will
serious
get in a fight.
issues.
So I'm
Like,
staying in my
exploit-
room.
Okay.
Go, I don't know.
So you're
whatever.
weak.
I'm
Crazy.
processing everything.
All right.
Crazy.
I'm not an election denier, so I know that Trump won.
Popular vote. Say that out loud. Imagine.
7 in the morning. I've been
Good
up
point.
for a good 2 hours now. Everyone that I know is asleep.
Okay.
And I'm just going on a walk in my pajamas, in
Yes,
my
you
slippers,
scream
in
at the
my
top of her
pajamas.
lungs.
I mean,
How come she
You're
doesn't
losing your
scream?
marbles, girl. You go walk in your jammies.
I just got home from working the night shift and crying in my car the way home and screaming in my car because sometimes you just need to scream at the top of your lungs, especially in moments like this.
What is up with the screaming, guys?
I don't know. I'm just still in.
Does it mean something?
My cat's my emotional
Stress
support.
relief.
And it probably will be
Her
forever
cat's
because I can
taller.
see it
Shut
now.
up.
No husband, just
Her
cats
cat's
for this
taller.
muppet in
Shut
the
up.
future if they want her.
Cat's like,
All I
shut
have
up.
to say is good luck getting laid.
Wow.
Especially in Florida, because me and my girlies are participating in the 4
I don't know. There's a lot of loose women in Florida.
That's my next plan.
I don't know.
Yes,
Florida.
you are. You,
Definitely
she
tell you this
will,
right
she's
now,
telling the truth.
I'm
She
not
will
sure that there's
participate.
much issue for guys in Florida to
Yes.
still get the viscous innards. That's the case, guys. That's not really a thing. But I understand your feelings are hurt. You're extremely emotional, and you're just having these
First 12 pack
constant,
should be good to
consistent
go.
emotional outbursts that are terrible for you. Yes, I'm aware. But guys, there are a lot more of these. You guys sent me a ridiculous amount of these things, so we're gonna go ahead and actually get those up probably tomorrow, also, guys.
My
But
vagina is
listen, you guys all have
political.
an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day.
Yeah, there's been
Thoroughly.
so much of
Guys,
this.
before we go, are you guys subscribed?
Okay.
Yeah, we're not, whoa, where does come back from? Get the heck out of here.
Look, they're crying because they don't get.
Whoa, we're not going there. We're not going there. So, we got a couple more of these we might play. So, we have some time, but it's weird. I mean, I watched these. There's a bunch. I want to put a collage together of some of the ABC, NBC, CNN, CBS. I mean, they just lost it. I mean, I watched, what was it? Norah O'Donnell sit there like, what the fuck just happened? you just get your ass kicked. Is what just happened.
This is the red wave that they were waiting for, and they finally got.
So,
yeah.
Fox called it pretty early. We called it. I think what we called it, Jay, it was midnight, 1 o'clock, somewhere around there when we called it.
Around that, yeah.
And it was before he took Pittsburgh, but we had been watching all night, and you could kind of tell which way those three states were going. We kind
As
of
soon as Pennsylvania went Trump, that was it. That was
it was over when Pennsylvania.
That was a big chunk of it.
Yeah, we had called it before Pennsylvania, though. I think pretty much after he took Georgia, we all had the sense that this was not going to go her way. And then for a while, it was going pink and boo, plink and boo, plink and boo. Up
Pennsylvania's an important state.
But then it quit.
It was like watching Christmas tree lights. It was blinking so fast.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, Pittsburgh slowly but surely stopped blinking blue, and then it started getting more consistently, and then it turns red. That was it for them.
You can't deny how the last 4 years at least have been terrible under Democratic control, and every blue state and their whole deal.
Fabulous, fantastic.
You can't.
The best president in history.
You can't hide that fact, and people aren't stupid. Not all of them, anyway. They know what the hell's up. They know their wallet, and they know what their safety. They know the basic things that they need to live is, am I going to be safe? Are my kids going to be safe? You know what I mean? And what the hell's happening? Why is so much of my money going to people who don't deserve it? Like these illegal aliens.
Oh, dude.
You know?
Preaching the choir, man. I mean, I'm with you.
It's just too much of this. What the hell is that? Sorry, somebody just said.
But billions went out. That money got taken from people at the lowest level who need the help. Poor people who need the help. Their benefits getting cut because of they need a cash grab. You can't just stir up billions of dollars from nowhere. It's got to come from somewhere, and it doesn't come from the rich neighborhoods, by the way. It comes from the people who really need it the most, So whatever, man. That's if you live in that type of state and or city, you know exactly what you got, And then you hear a lot of people who are poor straight up complaining that they've gotten less, they can't get by, and then on top of that, food is 3 times what it used to be. So when they go to the store with their same benefits or less benefits, man, they're hurting, So and nobody cared.
Right.
Nobody cared. None of these politicians ever said a word about it, man. And then you're making poor people poorer and middle class people poor. For what? What was gained from this thing? You tell me. And letting criminals go, letting criminals who are accused of murder, rape, child molestation, running the streets with no bail.
Decriminalizing police and first
Smacking some whitey ass around.
That nature, and then all of a
running
sudden,
the streets with no bail.
There.
Well, so what is the purpose of that? What good did that do? And what do we owe people who are coming here to this country to commit these crimes? Do we owe them a living? Do we owe them a place? It's a privilege coming to the U.S. It's not a right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Before I play this real quick, we're gonna go through this real quick. So I know he's trying to change the birthright deal. So this is going to be tough on Trump because the 14th Amendment is pretty clear on this. If you're born here, you're a citizen. It doesn't really give you any out. So I see the direction he's going, but I think it should be smarter in saying, look, we know that if you're born here, you're here, but we do know that some people abuse that by coming here deliberately to have a baby so they can stay. And those children, those anchor babies should not be allowed to be citizens automatically. And that's all he should go after. And if he goes after that, he will probably win that with the Supreme Court. But if he tries to say, if you're born here, because too many other people around the world, it's not going to float. And the reason this all happened, they give you all kind of bullshit reasons why they did this. But if you look, 95% of the Americas allowed, if you're born there, that you're a citizen. And the reason why is back when these laws were passed in the 1800s, there were hardly anybody living there. They were trying to grab every citizen they could get. It's not how it is today. There's 350 million of us now. So we're not in a need to get citizens anymore. So you
have to understand the motivation behind it. Yeah, you have to. It's hard to change the amendment or even to amend it, but it's easy to change the law. And what you have to do is say, okay, you're born here, you're an American, but you leave this country, you're not getting any benefits. and the parents of this child, if they're not Americans, don't get to stay. So the child goes with the parents. So you're really taking it a whole bunch of financial stuff away from it, which is the reason why there's birthing clinics all along the border of this country, because women run over the border pregnant and have kids, especially Canadians. They want to have their kids born in the USA, like the song "Born," but they come in and they get a lot of extra benefits. They know if that kid's born here, then they're going to be able to collect. You know what I mean? You need to take the financial part of it. Okay, they're an American, but you get nothing for it. Sorry.
All right, here comes some more of these crazy
sorry.
Sorry.
Now that we're all saying what we're thinking, I'm going to go ahead and say that I think if you voted for Donald Trump, you're ugly.
Mike,
I think you're all freaking ugly, and I think
Hey,
you're dumb
you
as
said we are
words.
ugly. Now
And
look,
I think you're a
that's
bigot in every
uncalled
sense
for.
of the word, every use of the
This
word.
dude doesn't
I
know what he's
also
talking
not
about.
only won't care when all the bad stuff that's gonna happen happens to you, I actually want it to happen to you.
I am so frustrated.
Yeah.
Did no guys
That's
get
not
upset when
okay.
Harris lost? I'm confused.
This is not okay.
Here's one, I think.
This simply will not do.
Is this
and
a
this
guy?
is not okay. And I'm not good with this.
We're putting Lee in charge of transgender.
This is sick.
Should be able to figure it out fast. I'm old and dumb.
sorry.
Oh wait, there's a guy.
Comedy.
Wait. Oh, this bitch is hilarious.
I love people screaming in their car. It's a great place to do it too.
Bro, relax. It's okay. Bro, these aren't even the best clips. We're going to keep going because some of these are so crazy, I don't even know what to do with myself.
This is all pretty great. Like we're just gonna wake up tomorrow morning and everything's gonna go back to the way it'll be a psych. It'll be like a really bad dream, and none of this will ever happen, right? Like it'll be like the first time, and then we're all gonna pull through fine in 4 years. Correct? Please, someone tell me. I can tell you one thing right now: marriage is the farthest thing from on the table currently.
Michelle
So
Obama
they
will run
screwed
in
the
4
pooch on
years.
that
I
one.
don't
If they
understand why they're
thought
so mad
that
at
any of
men.
this
I
was
mean,
going to actually
half
help
the men
with the
voted
whole
for
family and kids
Kamala.
department
Michelle
and
Obama
lowering
will
birth
run in
rates,
4
because that
years.
no,
Michelle ain't running for
not
nothing.
I'm
even
predicting
any
that she's
semblance
going to
of
run in
thoughts
4
I
years.
had or hope for that is
She's not
completely
running.
going to
That
be a
will be
no
the next
thanks
part.
for me, love.
Especially
You think
if she
I
ends up
would ever
divorcing
even dare bring a child
Obama.
into this country now?
Obama,
It was
no,
rough
he'll be with Jennifer
before.
Aniston.
Now, no,
In
that's
the Hollywood
cute.
Hills. if
And the
that's so
men
modified.
don't even get me started about dating. To think I was still entertaining a few moderates here and there.
Nobody
Sometimes,
wants
no,
your
honey, no,
coochie
not even close. That's
anyway.
never. Goodbye.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude, calm down, man. Jesus, that's my ears.
Reel it in.
Where's the fucking audio on this? We got to turn this down, so.
Imagine living next to this.
Oh,
thing.
Jesus, man. Look at this
Yeah.
dude. He's losing it.
Oh, he's gonna hit all
man.
4 Calder points.
I mean,
too.
look at that bastard.
A lot of this, they're just pandering to their own audiences.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, they are.
all
And a lot of this is because they ran their mouths too much.
I'm calling the police.
The whole time they were saying
They're
how
pointing
bad he was
the
going
camera
to
at
whoop their
themselves
ass and
doing this.
stuff.
Come on, man. It's the most
Literally
narcissistic
I'm literally
stuff.
sick to my stomach.
It's terrible.
I'm sick.
What has happened to America? What has happened to democracy?
Dude.
What has happened
It
to
actually worked. That's what the fuck happened.
Democracy. That's what the vote is about, you nitwit.
If you voted for Trump, unfollow me and block me. If you didn't vote, unfollow me and block me. The fact that
Fine.
it's
I don't
this
know who your
close
arbiter
means I've
unfollowed and
lost
blocked.
all hope in the American people. Like, it should not be this close. Why would anyone vote for this person?
Is anyone else having a meltdown?
That was the
I
girl
don't know how
from
to
Jubilee.
do this. I don't know how to wait.
It was the girl from
I'm
Jubilee.
so stressed. How you can't look out into the world, into the people of this country, and see what's happening. I am 48 years old, and I have never experienced anything
These
like
old
this, and
bitches,
never thought I would in this country. I don't know how to handle this. I don't know how to get through the next couple days.
It appears as though this gigantic piece of won the election. And as much as I hate him
It
because he's a
appears.
gigantic criminal, authentically horrible human being, I also blame the Democrats for doing this. How hard is it to beat him? It's not that hard.
Hey, that's fair.
Apparently, it's hard.
Not a real human being.
I need some
He's a
popcorn
piece
for
of
these days.
Yeah,
Democrat.
really.
How
No.
could you not beat him? Why could you not beat him?
How am I supposed to go to work?
By going to work.
My car.
Yeah, get in the fucking car, drive down there, go to work. Take your ass to
Do
work.
all of my normal daily activities.
By going to work and
but
doing your normal daily activities.
We all just chose for things
How am
to
I
get
supposed to get to work?
exponentially harder.
Yes, it's gonna be so much cheaper. Oh my god. No.
My mom voted.
I'm surprised at the result, but I'm not surprised. As a woman of color, I was so hopeful that a mixed race woman married to a Jewish guy could be
See,
elected
every time they
president
say
of
this
this
irritates
country.
me because
And I
you
think
can't
that it had
vote
nothing
for
to
somebody
do with
based on
policy.
their color
I think this
or
was a
their
referendum of,
sex organs. We learned that with
cultural
Obama.
resentment in this
There's
country.
no accounting for meritocracy, for
What?
the merit
All
of
right,
being a
guys,
leader.
it's time to go to bed.
Just because
None of us are stressed about the election, right? It's all we all are gonna just go have the best night's sleep of our lives, aren't we?
Oh, even a dog is licking the tears, guys.
I know.
Look at that.
Doug says, I'll help you out.
Okay.
Oh god.
Go, Kamala.
Guys, we literally don't even have to.
Good night, guys. It's my bedtime.
Be good, Jiggy. Stay out of trouble.
We don't want to freak out because
Don't
it's
slap
not
nobody
even real.
around or nothing.
Because recount the vote.
Yeah, I know she's an ex-Marine,
I
right?
chose family. End this reign of terror now. I chose family. I chose women. I chose America. I love you.
We're moving on. I'm moving on. We're moving on.
I love all of this.
Good
Where
count.
are you going? Bro, you
This
know
guy's
you're on
just-
camera, right?
Good lord.
I hate to see a grown-ass man cry.
It's an utter betrayal.
Oh
You
yeah.
voted for that man. If you voted for anybody other than Kamala, and you live in one of the states that it was, close.
Uh-huh.
There was no states
you
where it
didn't
was
vote?
close, baby.
Go ahead.
Yeah, what were it? 2 of them? Oh, 3.
Okay. Live with that decision. Sit with it. Let it.
I don't know. The Rust Belt, he won all of them, but like
the state where
100,000.
you get overwhelming red wave right across every county. So
All women and their rights. I hope you enjoy your cheap gas.
Oh yes. Oh yes, I will. Your ass out.
The thing is, I don't.
Taxes.
The rhetoric was.
And you know what, dude? I will enjoy my gas, by the way.
He didn't file with us last year.
Up on the wrong page, shit.
Pay $0.
All these rights being taken away.
God, if you
Where did
idiots
I didn't see any of that.
man, I will burn this whole place to the ground.
All right.
Oh, that's not good.
timbers.
No.
Excuse me for being a little emotional here. But what the f is going on?
Y'all want to violate my stuff? I don't give a f about none of that. Because all the people that's violating my freaking life right now are Trump supporters.
Yeah.
Y'all the only ones happy about this right now. Y'all the only
What is
ones.
that your nose, girl?
Y'all see I
Get that
got
shit
my
under
blue on.
control.
I
Well,
done
who's
cried
the
so
one broadcasting
much that
her ass all over the internet? Well, it's
my
not
blue
me
one,
doing
I
it.
have to wear red because it's my freaking job. If I
No,
didn't
I
have
mean,
to wear
what the hell she got stuck in her nose?
I wouldn't be
It
wearing
kind of
it.
looks like a
Trust
copper
and believe.
earring or nose ring or whatever.
Trust and believe me. I hate red so fucking much.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't even know what to do. I've never hated red so much in my life until now.
Why are you wearing a red shirt then?
She asked her for work. She said so in the video.
It's a nasty thing hanging out of your nose. You got a cold or something, lady?
Oh, man.
You gonna say we'll see if you still scream "Go Trump" in the next few fucking months.
We will be going. Go Trump.
We'll see. Oh, y'all said "Go Trump." We'll see if y'all still screaming at.
Y'all must be really
We'll
shitting
see.
after 5 days of watching this
you
guy
won't.
going, oh my God, where'd
Because
he
that man
Trump?
about to walk up in that White House and he
For those just joining us.
I'd like to see these same idiots like a year and a half from now when the economy's doing great and gas is like 5 cents a gallon and everybody's making all kinds of cash.
There you go.
Wanna
They're
see
giving
the
up
No,
on
these
reaction
crazies
to that.
here.
Also giving up
They
on
won't know. They don't
Oh, yeah,
care. They don't work.
chambers.
These people
that's
don't
what they
work.
want.
You know, the economy doesn't affect them.
having my hair be
They're
long,
the same
having
either way. They don't have any
being
responsibility.
skinny,
They don't
being
understand
hot, and
what it's
all
like
the
to
things that the
really
patriarchy
be
wants us to
responsible.
be. Because clearly,
You know, that's why they're acting like this
and I'm talking to
because
you too.
they're brainless. They just act like a bunch of really
like I said, man,
little
they
children who are throwing a fit.
woman in power that you'd rather
Are we
be up
seeing
to
a
the white
Britney
man
Spears moment
just in
here?
case
Like
some crumbs
live?
fall
What
off
in
his
the
plate
hell are we
so that you may
watching?
eat from them. We are embarrassing on the world stage. Oh God. Stop talking to men. Divorce your husbands, leave your boyfriends, leave them. They don't give a shit about you. And I promise you, come over to this side. I will bake cookies. I will shave your head if you want me to.
Bro, I'm not sure she's making anyone suffer with that.
I don't. Yeah,
I'm just
I
gonna
think
be
she
completely
needs, like,
honest. She's
you know-
not
I'm with you,
making
dude.
a single one of us suffer. Don't worry, it's okay.
But this could break me and my parents apart because they just don't understand what they voted for and like what
No,
it
you're
means
38
and
and you still live with your
the
parents.
bigotry and
I know,
hatred
huh?
that they stand behind and how I like am trying to be a good person. I'm not Catholic like they are, which is ironic because it's like religion's supposed to make you love. But I could see it like breaking me and my parents apart because they just don't get it and they don't get that they voted for someone who's gonna make my friends' lives hell. My life's okay. I'm a white woman,
This is what I
but my
don't get.
friends are not gonna be.
Well, if your friends' lives are in, God,
Well, Donald Trump is now our 47th president of
Yep.
the United States of America. This election was not even close, which I find odd considering Kamala Harris's rallies. However,
Or
how
faked.
can that compete when you
Yeah.
have Elon Musk paying
Who cares
$1
about a
million
rally if you're
per
not
day
physically
to
qualified
encourage
to do the
people to
job?
vote for
You're not
Donald
gonna
Trump?
do the job.
Personally, I'm disgusted by that. I'm disgusted enough to delete my X account. I'm disgusted enough to
Who's this guy?
never order a
I
Tesla
don't know,
as
some
long
doof.
as I shall live.
We do not care.
America is no longer the land of the free.
And so it's almost 2 a.m. Pacific time, which means it's well after polls have closed. And I am still just genuinely confused as to what happened. So if anyone
You
wants
lost.
to offer some
Yeah,
insight,
it's called a red wave. It was supposed to happen in 2016, but it
Kamala
skipped a year, and here it
That's what
is in
happened.
2020.
She's pushing ideologies that the overwhelming majority of the people in the United States of America do not find incredibly important.
men are just genuinely not as concerned as women and don't quite take our concerns as seriously. And
I think this is a big, huge part of the story that it's hard to even digest fully at this moment. But you have Elon Musk, who owns Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it these days, X, who is a disinformation propagandist and now has could potentially have a direct line to the Oval Office.
I never liked that bitch to start off with. Go Elon, go Elon. Crazy
Well,
bastard.
that didn't go the way we had hoped. Not at all. Or expected. Yeah, I mean, for him to win the popular vote? Are you kidding me? I did not know our country was that full of racist
What is with this dude's hair?
bastards.
Oh, I don't think that's a dude.
Oh shit. I see what you mean now.
Be an all-out war on the
Oh my god, man. See, I totally issues in charge. I shouldn't have left. Oh shit.
on women, on people of any color other than Blanco or Blanca or whatever. I don't care about the Blanca. It's just the Blanco. Yeah, so better go out there and get you a Bible because you're going to be needing that now. Oh, no, we, if they follow the Handmaid's Tale, we can't read. I'm trying so hard.
Handmaid's Tale. It's a piece of fiction.
And I don't want any of the kids to know how
Stupid you are?
scared I am. How am I
Stupid you
supposed
are?
to go in there and tell them to embrace who they truly are, to support people, to love people,
Why,
to
your
care
kid's
about
gay?
people,
What's going on here?
believe that
I'm
they
missing
can do
something here.
when today proved
It's
that
you
that's
know,
not
I don't know where this
Work in
support people,
education.
love people stuff.
I'm
It's
obviously
not like he
missing
hates
something here.
folks. I mean, that's the weird part.
Brother, like, bro, I'm gonna be honest. I think
What
every
the
single one
fuck
of
was
these
that?
individuals are just chasing some type of clout, bro. I'm just trying to fully grasp exactly who would just put the camera in front of their face and be like, you know what? I'm gonna cry. Listen, it's your clownery. I'll catch you guys later.
Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels?
Oh, yes.
Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd, along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description.
Good deal, dude. Go for it. Okay, well that was interesting. I know we're gonna get out of here pretty soon, but that was very most stupidly interesting.
Strange people, Jesus.
Well, we're gonna try to do a few every over the next couple of weeks, but
I mean, I guess I need I'm in the same place as that VJ, whatever he is. I need an explanation as to why all this stuff is supposed to be happening. Because I mean the propaganda machine, like the one person was talking about, was insane. And the thing is, you couldn't believe anything the Democrats were saying because they constantly say one thing and do another.
And that's what happened. These people, they bought it hook, line, and sinker.
I don't get it. I don't get it. It's so obvious.
Not only did these people we would listen to buy it hook, line, and sinker, they went out and argued the point with people, and now they're probably embarrassed at half of the people they know because they were probably half their families were probably Trump supporters, and they were out there fighting with him, telling them why and how bad Trump was going to get their asses kicked. Because every Democrat I knew told me the same thing. Oh, Trump's going to lose so bad it's going to be embarrassing. I'm like, are you sure about that? And they're like, yes. Said the polls don't agree with you, but hey, you never know.
And they didn't for 18 months straight.
It was
amazing, just amazing.
I
mean,
I
still don't get it.
Yes, well, because people are nuts, and Harris didn't make things any better. She just kind of just shuffled off into the distance without really clarifying anything. And the Democratic Party is now out $1.5 billion and still 22 million in debt.
Mm-hmm.
So it was embarrassing, and she actually had the advantage by coming in so late. She had all that honeymoon time that most candidates don't get. She'd have been there for a year. Her numbers would have been so low, it would have been embarrassing. I mean, it should have been down 5, 6, 7 points, just like Joe was headed for. And we did the polls an hour and a half every show for 18 months. And you could watch it. It was very easy to tell where this was going.
Yeah. Even when they padded the numbers, the best example is like the last week that Biden was in the race, he had, I don't remember the exact numbers, but he was like 2 to 4 points below Trump in every most poll that we went through. Very next week when they pushed Kamala to the front, and she was now the proposed lead candidate, the numbers were the exact same as last week. They were the exact same. They no change whatsoever.
Yeah, they did. They didn't change that.
Numbers that they had for Biden and misspelled his name accidentally into Kamala Harris. It was blatantly obvious, and no matter how much they padded those numbers, Trump always maintained a 2 to 4 point average.
Yeah, and then
every poll, even bluer polls.
Yeah, but he when 538 helped him out because they cheated. They decided that.
Oh
yeah, so we had been tracking. 538 was one of the companies we used. They had like 18 or 20 companies.
Mm-hmm.
We were using them, and the whole time they were tracking. We watched them with the other 4 companies we were using, plus all the additions. I think it was about 50, 60. It's 50, 60 polls, easy.
It was an hour and a half to go through all.
Yeah, so all of a sudden I go one night, I pull it up to Jim, talking with the other host, and I'm like, wait a minute, not one of the companies that had been polling before that for Biden were there anymore. They went with strictly only, I mean, seriously blue.
Overnight.
New York Times, the New York Post, the LA Times. I mean, everything. And still, now Trump was losing, but he was only losing by a point in everything. Then you knew if he was down 1 or 2 points in a blue poll, it means he was winning.
Yeah.
And so I forgot who it was called us and told us about the internal polling numbers about 6 weeks before. I know it was about 10 weeks before the election. Said that he was polling really good. She was really not polling all that well. And then about 4 weeks from the election, we got another one saying she was not really polling well in the internal polls, but Trump was polling well. So, but for some reason, they don't give us the internal polls unless you know somebody.
Yeah.
especially if you know you were losing. But then the whole time she was telling everybody, part of the reason these people went crazy is, oh, we're going to win. We're going to win big. We're going to win big. We're going to win big. We're just going to be the biggest thing you've ever seen. And we're going to kick Trump in the nuts. And he's going to go to prison for the rest of his life. And I'm going to be your next female black first ever president. No, because you're a dumbass. Somebody the other day said, a friend of mine with Joe, like 36 other countries have had female leaders. And I said, yeah, they all had something in common. She said, what's that? I said, they were all conservatives. He's like, what? I said, go look for your fucking self. They were all conservative.
Yeah.
I said, when the Reds put up a candidate, they will probably win. And I said, but the Democrats, you want us to vote for Hillary? I mean, come on, Hillary was like the most, and then there was fucking Benghazi. Nobody was voting for Hillary. And then the Russia. Most of us kind of knew, since it was Hillary, was hooked up with the dossier and all, we kind of figured it was bullshit. And of course, we found out 3 years later, it was absolute bullshit. But no one went to jail for that, not at least that I know of. And
absolutely
destroying her servers, nobody went to jail for letting them people die in Benghazi. She never went. And nobody. I mean, it was horrible.
And she should have too.
Yeah, and she should have. But yet nobody. So there was no way she was going to win that election. And he squarely beat her in the polls. I mean, in the not in the polls, in the debates. But the polling numbers always showed her 2 to 3 points ahead of him. Always.
Most of the news networks are biased.
Oh yeah.
That was before the real bloom of the podcast. That was before podcasts have actually started to become important now. In the old days, they were fun, but they weren't really important. But now they've become important. There's a lot of big ones out there. There's lots of us out there that have 2, 3, 4 million listeners. So you hit 10, 20 of those, you cross 60 million, 80 million people in a measly amount of hours. And if the hosts are fun and popular and they're backing you, it makes it easier and better because their people are now going to vote for you. So it helps. And people forget, but like on what is it, X or no, X or social media, Trump has 58 million followers.
Yeah.
So, that means he only had to come up with about 16 million votes to win the election. Where Kamala had like 2 million followers, it means she had to come up with 70 million votes to win the election.
Right.
And and frankly, I can't believe as many people voted for that they did. Mike went out and voted for him, dumbass. I couldn't believe he did that. I was like, Mike, I can't believe you voted for Kamala. Oh, Joe, she's hot, man.
Well,
I think Shawn said he was hot too.
It wasn't hot then because the election before where Biden won, they were expecting the red wave. And we were watching the results, and I was actually like zooming in on Maryland and Pennsylvania. I'm from Maryland. I live in Pennsylvania. And then I was zooming in on New York and looking at the counties there. And, Pennsylvania has 72 counties and only like 11 counties out of the 72 were blue. The state went blue for Biden. Biden won the election. The exact reverse happened during this election, but it started slow because we were watching. It was like a lot of the questionable states, New York, particularly Pennsylvania, Georgia, were all kind of like lavenderish, not quite blue, not quite red, but kind of like going one way or the other.
He pulled 46% in New York.
Right, yeah, and then eventually it just went. It just started red. It's like ticker tape right across it, and then that's when it was over. About midnight is when that happened.
Well, now that they're trying, they want to do. I was listening to the Republicans the other day. They want to do an electoral college for the states. If that ever happens, the Democrats will never win another anything ever again. I mean, if you looked at the map this time and looked at the counties across the nation, most of the counties in every state were red. It was just even in Cali. So if they ever go with that method, it's over with for the Dems.
The example I used with Pennsylvania is we had like 11 counties that won it for Biden, and those counties were surrounding Pittsburgh, Erie, Wilkes-Barre, Philadelphia, and Lancaster. Those 5 cities specifically. In this last election, they lost Pittsburgh. They lost the state.
Jeffrey Reed, where are you from?
One city, that one blue city went red. Bye.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how powerful the cities are. I mean, it was shocking to me. I mean, I've always hated politics since I was a little kid. My parents were newsies. They watched the news like, once cable came around, they got their hands on cable. They watched the news every day of the week, and now I have to too because I do this stuff for fun. But in any event, the just the overwhelming fact that it's like 11 counties out of 70 counties turns it one way or the other.
Yeah.
That's overpowering. That
But now it's
that needs to be
changing
fixed.
now.
I'm sorry, but that's a
But
break.
no, but it is being fixed. So like in this year in Pennsylvania, a lot of those people moved out of Philadelphia and places like that. They moved into the red areas, which gave them a little bit more power this time. In big states with decent populations, the counties can offset. Yeah, it can offset them. Now, people forget. I mean, Ronald Reagan was a
You have
Republican. He was
72
governor of
counties, and
California.
only 1% of those counties flipped the state one way or the other. That is a huge broken mechanic.
Yeah, that's when you need electoral college for that state. And by winning the most counties, then you get the election.
And if that
But
would
is
be
that
the case, almost every state would be a red state.
red state? That's why
The
that's why we
electoral
don't have
college
that.
was created so one area couldn't have more power than another because of population.
But
Yeah.
it has created
Back in
a
the
broken
day, yeah.
system. It has
And it
created an
worked
absolutely
to a
broken
degree.
system.
Otherwise,
If
New
you have
York and
enough
California
people
would decide everything.
speaking for, I mean,
Yes.
enough in, you have one individual representing an entire thing.
Yeah.
That's back in the day that made sense because you have to travel by horse and buggy to get to DC,
Yeah.
But
train, yeah.
nowadays,
Yep, and the
If you
electoral
find
college
it-
that those
the
delegates,
college
the
or
delegates
goes
can
to
vote
popular.
for how they want. They don't have to vote for the will of the people. They can vote however they want.
They
Well, there's
can,
other
but
arguments
if
for
they
it.
don't vote the will of the people, they're going to get screwed. They're going to get ejected and no longer
Yeah.
represent that state.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot more of that, especially in the comments. A lot more have been getting kicked out and getting kicked in the ass. What is that, Jesse? Where are you from? Hopeville. What's Hopeville? California. I've never heard of Hopeville in California. You crazy? You lying.
Hopeville?
Anyway, what do you? I've never heard of Hopeville. Well, I'm not over the whole damn state.
Probably
I've been
way
to
up
Eureka.
north.
I've been to Eureka, California, which is up north
Up by
on the
petroleum,
coast.
like probably like way.
I got
up.
no-
But anyway, what question do you have for us?
What's her problem? Anyway?
Do what do you mean? Do I think Trump's going to fuck up? I think
I
he's
think
right
he
now.
had
If he's
up in the first administration.
actually, I think if he stays in his current rate, by the time we come around for midterms, he's just going to hand it over to JD and go on vacation the next 2 years. He's not going to have nothing to do. He's going to be like, well, JD needs to learn how to be president anyway, people. So
Yeah,
we'll
he's
just
gonna
let him.
be
We'll
next,
just,
so.
so we might as well. I don't want to make him president because then he can't get 2 terms. But we're gonna let him. We're gonna let him, get some practice in here, running the country for a little while. You can't really fuck it up because I fixed it where it's foolproof. But still, we'll let him have some fun for a while. Hey, look. I mean, at the rate he's going, I mean, he can't. If he keeps up this current rate, he will be done with everything he wanted to do within 2 years. He'll be just like, well, what am I going to do now? Hey, Melania, you want to go over to Europe for a couple of months? Let's go hang out with the rich people for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's interesting. He's got something to prove to himself, to the country, and to his kids, and I think he really wants to.
Listen, man, I want access to Trump's time machine. I just want to be able to use it once. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to go back and invest in Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
His Uncle John.
Or when my friend said, Joe, you want to buy 100 Bitcoins
You know
for
what?
50
When-
cents
when-
each?
No, yeah, that or bounty because being from the retail end of things, I was in Tim. If you don't know, I used to work in one of the big box home improvement stores. I won't tell you which one it is, but there's only 2 of them that really count.
Yeah, the orange one and the blue one.
But it being near the department that sold cleaning products and paper products, paper towels and toilet paper and whatnot, our store was out of that stuff for months, 3 or 4 months. I worked in the electrical department, and we had things that never sold out, like the meter sockets. That has a little glass door on it that the guy comes by and reads to tell you how much electricity they have to charge you for this month. Yeah. We were sold out of those for 8 months. The electrical conduit went from $1.56 per 10-foot stick of a ½ inch diameter to over $10 a 10-foot stick. Wow. During the time. So, I mean, the outrageous prices of things. If you knew before COVID to invest in toilet paper, paper towels, cleaning products, and plastic conduit, you'd have made a fortune in the stock market.
King's toilet paper king of Pennsylvania.
Boom, you'd be living.
You could have just vested in a company that made masks. and
Yeah.
then he
If
probably
you have a
retired.
time machine, you can zip back and forth and win the lottery.
But
you
even
don't-
then,
you
you could have
don't have
invested
to
in
even
Bitcoin.
think about
and
toilet
raised it.
Any of those kind of
you
things.
know?
PPE.
Crazy. Oh yeah.
But Trump's uncle, his uncle John, was
Yes.
the guy who went through all the files of Nikola Tesla, and
Yeah.
John was a scientist. John invested heavily in science. You know, they're the ones who said that John, got a hold of Nikola Tesla's time machine, that he built a time machine, and he got a hold
And
of
that's
it.
where we got the
and
book.
then now Trump is using it.
Anyway,
Zip
we got about 7
change
minutes.
history.
Almanac of sports plays from 2000 to 1950.
Right.
That's how they got their money. He is Biff Tannen. Biff
Okay,
Tannen
so
is
we
White House right
this,
now. The hairdo was even the same. Go look at the movie. The hairdo's the same. I promise you. Biff Tannen.
That's pretty
Your
funny.
White House president right now.
Oh Lord, no more drugs for these guys. So I've seen
Hey,
this question
man.
go by about 6 or 7 times today. Who
I
do I
didn't
think
make
is
it
going to
up.
be president?
He's
who
got a
do we
fucking
think is
time
going to be
machine.
president in 20? What is it?
Look
Gonna
up
be
look up
2028?
John Trump.
28.
You'll see all
Vance.
kinds of stuff about him, man.
2028.
Trump's
I
gonna
think 2028,
try.
you're gonna see a Vance Trump ticket. Vance runs for president. Trump comes in as vice president, and for the first term, second term he Trump's out, and Vance gets the second vice president for his second term.
I don't know if Vance
Gonna
can be.
swap? Leapfrog through.
He's gonna swap
I-
vice president. Exactly right.
I don't know how that's going to work out anyway, but I don't know if
Why not?
Vance can
Trump did
be.
it.
I don't know if Vance can
He got
be.
rid of one pain in the ass vice president.
Oh,
got
you
rid
can
of-
change vice president, but I don't know if Trump can be vice president.
Why not?
Because there's
He's
some
old
weird
enough.
rules about stuff like that. Yeah, he's old. He'll be too old. Actually, he'll be 82. So I don't know if he'd even take the job.
There's no age limit on that at all. No age limit. There's an age
It's not the
minimum.
age limit. There might be a rule about what he knows and something. I don't know. Being president and being VP might not be allowed.
What are we talking about? We've talked about the Senate being inside trader all the time.
Yeah,
They know
but some things, but some things they're funny about over there, man, and that might be one of them. Something about the amount of power it would accumulate
You
or
heard
something.
here first, folks. 2028.
It may be, and besides that, they might actually hurt Vance. A lot of people might not vote because they'll just think Trump's running the country again. So that's all on how well he does over the next 4 years. But he's going to have a hard time. I mean, you got Ron DeSantis, who's definitely going to be running for president. You got Marco Rubio, or which one he made Secretary of State. He's going to definitely be running. If he's done a good job, he's going to have a good chance of winning. Vance is going to have hard because vice presidents have a hard time. And remember this: Vance is only going to be like 44 or 46 when it comes time to run. The country's kind of leery about young presidents.
He was when he was assassinated.
Yeah, he's the country's kind of leery about young presidents these days. So Obama gave him a bad taste in their mouth. Obama and baby Bush actually kind of gave him a bad taste in their mouth. You know, it's like that evil person down there named Witty 109. You got to watch. She's like a Satanist. But anyway, what's that, Janine? We got 8 minutes. So what do you guys for us? Who, what, and where? No, I don't know who's gonna be president. I mean, right now that's the three people I know is going to be running. It's going to be J.D. Vance, Rubio, and the California governor, who's got a good chance because he's well liked.
It's going to be a Trump. It's a Vance Trump ticket. Vance is president. Trump is vice president. I'm calling that right now. You heard it here first.
It's so.
I prefer that over having Newsom in office.
But you see, the problem with that is, Jay, is Vance can't make him vice president until after he's nominated. So that's the problem. He's going to have to win on his own merit.
I think he can do that. He seems to be a very charismatic dude.
He is. I mean, you got a governor of Florida for 8 years who's got like an 86% approval rating. It's going to be hard to beat him.
He's got an 86% approval rating in California.
No, in Florida. Florida's a state that really makes a big difference across a lot of areas.
How does Gavin Newsom have an 86% approval?
I'm not talking about Gavin Newsom. I'm talking about Ron DeSantis.
I thought we were talking about Newsom here.
How Newsom can't run as a Republican? He's a Democrat.
Yeah.
We're talking about who's going to. So right now you've got those three names. The one with the most experience is going to be Ron. The second one's going to be Rubio. Vance is going to be third. VPs have a hard time winning. It's
Depends
just
on how
hard.
far in the background they are. Like Al Gore was pretty far in the background. He didn't make it very good on his presidential bids. So I think this guy's going to be in the
Crybaby little
foreground a little bit
bastard.
more. So he's going to have a better chance. He's going to be more vocal than most other.
So the last vice president I remember winning was George Bush Sr. And he was a senior. He came off of Reagan stuff, and Reagan was well loved. So he won, but he was mature. He used to be head of the CIA. He had just served 8 years as VP. He had a lot more to offer than Vance does. Vance is still a baby in the grand scheme of politics. He was a senator, so that's going to help him, but he's going to have a hard fight. It's not going to be just a cakewalk for him. And I wish him the best. And then we're going to see who's going to be it. But the person that's going to win is going to be and this is all up to Trump. If Trump does a good job and the country's on course, it's going to be who they think can follow his lead and continue what we're doing. Because all the Republicans would like to see, another 8 or 16 years of Trumpism in our country. So it will be who can portray it. And right now, that would be Ron DeSantis. So it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be tough. Vance we'll see. If Trump puts Vance out there and lets him do some stuff, or like I said, if Trump decides the last year or 2 years to let Vance take the lead, that could make a difference.
That's what I'm talking about. If he puts him in the limelight,
but he's going to have to do that.
Yeah.
Of course, there are several amendments up to try to get Trump a third term. But
that's not bad. Yeah, that's
yeah,
great.
there is. But he's going to be 82. It means he'll be 86. Let's not push it. And it's not just that his faculties go down by pushing him as a president, might stroke him out or something.
Right.
Shit. And he might be able to do it, but why are we going to take that chance? So, and what are we going to make Vance VP for 12 years then? It'll be getting weird at that point. For 8 years, it'll just be getting weird. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know who else can get in there for the Democrats. The only one I can see putting his hat in the ring that has a chance is Shapiro. I don't think anybody else currently. I know Harris is going to do it again. She said she's going to run for president again.
Oh God.
But I think
Michelle
Kelsey.
Obama. It'll be Michelle Obama.
Now, Kelsey might run.
Ego will drive her into that whole race. I'll guarantee it, man.
If Michelle Obama
she's salivating to do it.
No, I don't think Michelle Obama is going to do it. But if Michelle Obama backed Kamala Harris for a 4-year campaign,
I'm willing to bet on it.
I think she might do all right.
Let me tell you,
she backed her in this one. She got out there and endorsed her.
Reluctantly, though, it was.
I agree. It was reluctant, but she don't like Harris. That's not going to really be a thing.
I'll make a prediction, man. In a short time, there's going to be some weird major cataclysm that happens. That's going to shake everybody
There might
up.
be.
There might be. And then a short time after that's going to be the election, but things are going to be.
But Michelle,
in a weird way.
Michelle's not going to run for a couple of reasons. One is she got on national television and said that she couldn't do the things her husband did. That way, if she tries to run, that'll get just run over. Oh, no. She said she could not do the thing. She could not murder innocent babies. Her words. And
she already has. She's already done it.
Doesn't matter. She hasn't done shit.
Yeah, that clip would ruin her. She wouldn't make it.
Yeah, she's not going to make it. With
you
that
know what?
Stuff,
People don't care about that. They get high on the fact that it would be her running. You know how many Democrats would be psyched, man?
Yeah, that's what they said about Kamala too.
People don't like her though. She's not likable.
She wasn't like she was one of the least liked first ladies. They always try to say, "Oh, she's in the top 10."
First words
she's
out
never
of her
nice.
mouth on Inauguration Day, the first year of his administration, the very first sentence out of her disgusting mouth was, "America, your children are fat." Those are the very first sentence she said to the entire country. That's why she was so hated.
But she also said that she wasn't proud of America. There's a lot of things she said that will keep her out of office.
Everybody hated her.
There's just too much stuff, and a lot of people just don't like
Democrats
her. And then there's
love
a
to
thing.
hate themselves, man. That's exactly.
Yeah, but the Democrats, I'm telling you, the only hope they have right now is a Pennsylvania governor. If they run Gavin Newsom, they're going to lose. If they run Michelle Obama, they're going to lose. They run Kamala Harris, they're going to lose. Unless the Republicans put up some dumb fuck from somewhere we have never heard of.
You know,
They're gonna
probably
lose.
Fetterman would do well, man.
Actually, Fetterman
You know
might
what I
be
mean?
changing
too, yeah.
parties.
Really?
It looks,
Well,
Fetterman's.
don't
I
just
think
count
Fetterman's going
Andrew
to jump.
Cuomo, because Cuomo's talking about running for mayor of New York City.
Yeah, he's
you know,
a
where
idiot.
he get that easily.
He's
you
gonna.
know?
He'll get indicted the first day he gets in office.
He's
He'll
got
be
that.
fucking
He's got a
indicted.
lot of terrible things
Isn't
following
it like
with him.
is it like New York State law? If you become mayor of New York City, you have to automatically become indicted on some kind of weird.
It looks like that, man.
Seems like everyone
looks
gets
like
that.
Yeah, well, that
You know
whole,
what it is? Cuomo's a charismatic guy. Women throw themselves at him. He's used to that in his life. You know what I mean? And then there's women who work around him, and all of a sudden one says, "Oh, they did this, he did that," and whatever. You know, it's that whole Me Too thing. Especially there's a lot of women that were like feeling compelled to come out
So-
and report
A lot of
somebody
those
for
were
something
falsified, too.
because they want to be part of it too. You know what I mean? So, but well, I mean, you know, I'm not going to defend the guy. I don't know what the hell he does, but I'm saying that's what happens. That's what happens. You know?
So let's see. So Gavin Newsom.
He's no Puff Daddy though.
Shapiro and who else? I was thinking of three.
He's no.
Well, I mean,
Oh, and
no
Harris.
What if Fetterman flips sides and runs Republican?
Well, he's gonna. He sounded like he is gonna flip side. But for the Democrat things, guys, Harris, Newsom, and Shapiro is going to be looking like the three leads for that. I mean, there may be other people. For the Republicans, it looks like you're going to have.
Get the state going to Pennsylvania to where he wants it, and he's strongly for recreational marijuana sales for the state, which I think will help tremendously. The roads here are just awful. Yeah, I work in Maryland, and they just are seeing the benefits of the tax income from the first year sales of the recreational marijuana, and they're fixing roads all over the place. We don't have that.
No, yeah, all that helps. No, let me. So to finish with this, it was. So on this side, it'll be Vance, California governor, Rubio, and Tulsi Gabbard will probably run too. We're getting ready to get off air.
1:31 in the morning, man.
Yeah, we actually should already been off air. And so those are out there. So those are going to probably be the winners. I mean, the ones that are going to probably run, and then we'll just have to see who's going to win after that. And there may be, there is a rumor that some other female is going to try to run for the Republicans. So we'll see what happens if it's the right one. Who Marjorie Taylor Greene? Marjorie is not. She's like Michelle. She's unelectable. Yeah, she's not for presidency anyway. If Michelle really wanted to ever get to try to be a president, she would have to get in to be like a senator or something first. And I don't know if Barack's going to back the bitch. If Barack goes against her, she might as well just go and pack it up. They just don't seem to be getting along good. And Democrats, as a piece of advice, if this ever happens to y'all again, have a primary. You lost voters because you didn't.
They're
have
saying
a
that they're
primary.
splitting up.
But there's also discord within the Democratic Party. You could see it, especially when they pushed Kamala forward.
Nobody wanted Kamala.
But B, when the Clintons, the Obamas, and whoever else came out, they came out slow, and it seemed like they were.
It's a week later.
On the fence, going, pushing them out into the stage. Go support your.
Obama came out first. Cracker Joe called him crying in his coffee, and he came out first. Then Hillary came out. Michelle didn't come out for a while.
Weeks. Yeah,
she didn't come out for a while. And even when she said, "Oh, I'm gonna go speak for you," she did a good speech, but she was looking like, "Nah, I don't fucking be here.
Was not
this
into
is
it.
bullshit. This is not the place I want to be. This bitch is stupid. She should never be president."
Now, if all of those famous people that come out right away, like everybody else, like the cult we saw on both sides, the cult.
Well, this. But in all fairness, the sad part of this, if the Republicans would have been running anybody but Trump, it would have been a bigger landslide. Yeah. It would have been a bigger landslide. A lot of the people who voted for Harris, it was simply because they didn't like Trump, and they asked to get a good 25% of her votes.
Qualified.
Yeah, so not only if this wouldn't have been Trump, you would have probably seen a 400 on the college this year, and probably a good 10 million or 12 million over the vote. It was just, but yes, Trump still did it, and he's president now. And he has the fucking whirlwind. But on that note, we're going to get out of here. So Tim and Jay and Michael, thank you. We're going to go.
Thanks for having
guys
me.
and girls, remember, any moans, groans, bitches, or complaints, please write to Michelle DeRoche, courtesy of Michelle DeRoche.
Be safe.
Tell her Joe said he loves her,
You
and
say
be
hi for me,
sure.
Mike and Tim.
Yes, be sure. You know,
Good to meet
be
you,
sure though when you write to Michelle and say that Jay was being a bad boy tonight, and he was cursing a lot and
Nothing new.
stuff.
She hears it every week.
And
It's
be
okay.
sure that you say we love her. Okay. On that note, we got to go to guys because we've run over our time. Dave Scott out here, Scott Bakula, whatever the hell his name is, Dave Scott.
Yeah, Admiral
with Spaced
Archer.
Out Radio. He's probably like, why is these fucking people running over in my time?
Was
No, that's not true.
Bakula on?
We call him all kind of stuff. But anyway, we got to go, guys. Good night, and stay tuned for whoever the hell's on the next Spaced Out Radio. And we will see y'all. Well, I'll see y'all tomorrow. I gotta be here for the art. Well, I gotta be here for the artist quill in the early part of the day. And we have April Solomon on, who is a fabulous dragon drawer. Y'all will love her artwork. She's a really nice person, very outgoing, a lot of fun to talk to. For an artist, she's extremely outgoing. And then later in the night, we will be back with chat. Tim, if you want to stop by, just feel free.
Okay.
Y'all know what the chat is. The chat is just trouble. It makes news on the flip side look like it's a quiet, laid-back show. Anyway, on that note, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Good night, everybody.
Good night.